What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. And tonight we're going to preview the Miami Dolphins and the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to go over the keys of victory that I've seen for the offensive and defensive side of the football. We are going to get into the matchup to watch. For me, we're going to look how the teams stack up in terms of statistically a little bit. We're just going to dive into that. Also, after that's done, I'm going to deliver what I said I'd deliver yesterday, but I'm going to deliver today. We're going to take a look at the linebacking core over the first 2 weeks, how that second level has done. There's some Iguavin, Roberts, and Baker lowlights in there. So I picked out about 10 plays between run defense. It's predominantly run defense with a couple pass plays in there that they got exposed a little bit on. So we're going to take a look at both stuff. We've got about 10 plays I want to go over, want to break down just to show you guys that we can't kind of have this play at the second level right now if we want to be successful, especially if this team is to make a playoff run. But before we get into all that, I got to just make a generalized statement here now. So I want everyone to realize, the stuff that's been going on the past couple days in this community in terms of the bickering, the back and forth, all that jazz right now that's going on. This is just what we need to do right now. Okay. Everyone just kind of needs to listen. If you watch me, if you watch Dougley, if you watch TD, if you watch Larry, if you don't agree with something we say, and I'm talking about the comment section right now. If you're going to be in the comment section, just be like, yo, I checked out the video. I don't agree with what they're saying, whatever. Just stop making stuff personal on both sides here, because it's clear people want a little war to set off right now. They want some drama, da-da-da-da-da. It's not going to happen. Now, as far as Logan's concerned, listen, I, to an extent, kind of feel like, people with platforms, they were using them to kind of, not necessarily bury Logan, but to, put him paint a bad image of him to the majority of the Dolphins YouTube community when, Logan doesn't have a platform, doesn't have that ability himself. So he's come up here, he said his piece a few times, and what he said, that's between him and the people he said it to. I'm not about to get dragged into that stuff or, get overly involved in that stuff. But I want people to realize, this could have been handled a lot cleaner. If people really had these type of issues, I mean, I know Logan was a Patreon for Larry. I know Logan was a YouTube channel member for TD. This all could have been handled in private. Didn't have to be taken to the YouTube platform. I mean, we're about talking about Dolphins football opinions. We're going to all have opinions that disagree. Like me and TD, we will always see Tua Tagovailoa differently, and we have our own personal reasons as to why. Same thing with a guy like me and Pete. Now, a lot of the stuff that I say is a generalization. That's why I clarified last time. If I have something to say directly about Pete or TD, I'll say something directly about Pete or TD. That's always, I drop their name. I got no problem saying that. But, right now, we're in the midst of all this nonsense with the team. We don't need this nonsense going throughout the community. Let's not let YouTube turn into the toxic streets of Twitter or the unbearable pages of Facebook. Let's keep it. That's the one thing I would say. YouTube, we've always had there's always been drama. There's always been bickering, whatever, but it's never gotten as bad as it can get daily on Twitter, you know what I mean? Or as bad as it can get daily on Facebook, So let's I take breaks from Facebook and Twitter. I don't take as many breaks from YouTube. I don't really take a lot of breaks from YouTube, and that tells you why, because it's not as bad, it's not as toxic. Listen, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I've said that from the beginning. TD's not everyone's cup of tea. Larry's not everyone's cup of tea. surprisingly, even though he's a super nice guy, Dudley's not everyone's cup of tea. So listen, if you're going to disagree with us, go ahead, disagree with us. It's fine. You can say why you disagree with us. But some people out here on every platform make it personal and just like, why bother, guys? We're all a bunch of people that, well, I mean, I'm sure I'll meet some of you when I come down there, but a lot of these people, they're insignificant to your lives. Don't even worry about it, man. Like they're not going to affect you in your life. So just, I mean, other than when you turn your computer or your phone on. So just whatever, man. Just everyone try and at least be cordial. Like if me and Pete could come to some kind of truce, all of you guys can see and get through whatever the hell you got going on. And this isn't just even singling anyone out. I know there's people that hate on me and TD's comments. There's people that give TD the work in the business in these comments. There's people that give me and TD the work in Dougley's comments. You know, there's people that were going at Dougley Do Wrong on Twitter today. Like, you know, we see it everywhere. It is what it is, but like, who cares, guys? Like, just relax. A, it's football opinions. B, it's football. C, like, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like, Logan had some brutal shit emailed his way. You know, people saying things about Logan, his wife, and even, you know, he's brought his daughter up on stream here before. People saying things about his daughter, man. So like, people need to relax, okay? Like, it's unreal, man. Like, all this has gone overboard. All this has been unnecessary. And now we got people out here talking about Logan's wife and Logan's kids. Like, we need to relax right now, okay? We need to relax. Y'all are taking football opinions to such an extent you're starting to talk about people's families and shit. Okay? So people need to relax. All right? Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them. There's over 6 billion people on this planet. Not everyone is going to agree on one thing. It's never going to happen. So everyone needs to relax. And like, this has been on like Miami sports, music, you know, TD's addressed this on his channel. Larry's addressed it. Like, this thing is spread on and gone on for way too long and spread over way too many platforms. Everyone just needs to relax. Okay? Jeez. Like, unbelievable, man. Just relax. And it's all good. Like, y'all are gonna, we'll all wake up tomorrow. And you know what? If football ended tomorrow, a lot of us would never even talk again. That's the reality of it. In terms of like people in the chat that are bickering with each other, a lot of you would never even talk to each other again. So why bother wasting the time you do have to talk to each other? And life's too short for that shit. Everyone just move on, man. Christ, relax. So, anyways, enough of that. I just spent 10 minutes of my show addressing this. So just everyone relax. Everyone calm down. Get through it. Like, everyone get out of their feelings. We can all get along. If me and Pete can get along to an extent, all of y'all can get along. All right. Now let's get into the Dolphins and the Raiders this weekend. I personally, I mean, like, how anyone can get excited about Jacoby Brissett leading this team in Las Vegas right now. I don't know what you're excited about. Okay. I'm not. I got a bad feeling. You know, like even Carson Wentz, as I saw, is practicing right now with the sprained ankle, so he might even be able to go. Man, I thought next week we might see Jacob Eason or Sam Ellinger, I was like, okay, well now we got a chance. If it's only going, you know, I fully expect us being 1-3 now, walking in to Tampa Bay. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But for all the people that say Tua Tagovailoa holds the ball too much, well, guess what? That's exactly what Jacoby Brissett is kind of known for right now. So, he's going to have to get the ball out quick. And this is what I'm totally expecting. I'm expecting that they're going to try and move away from that RPO stuff because it really doesn't play heavily into Jacoby Brissett's skill set this weekend. And when we broke down the tape, we only showed you a few plays of the offensive line throughout the game, but some of the few plays we saw of him running the RPO, he's not a quick decision maker like that. I mean, you go back to the one where he pump faked to sell the free rusher, evaded him. There's only one read, that quick out to Devontae Parker. But if you freeze framed it when he did the play action portion of the RPO and chose to tuck it and try to make a throw, he's looking right at the free rusher coming at him. You got to hand the ball off there. So little stuff like that, he wasn't ready to make that. So, and that's a guy who's been in the league for what? 6 years now. So I think they're going to go away to a more progression read based offense, and that's what they were in the regular season. If you go back to the regular season, even with two in there, they were running more progression stuff and then sprinkling the RPO in. Now they've kind of flipped it, and everything is based off of the RPO, and they're adding other stuff in there. But I mean, we pointed out even some of the concepts are bad. I mean, you got, on that slant, you only got one other option, and it's a long developing deep post. And if you're not getting the protection, you can't make that throw. So, because it's got to develop, so you need time. But just as far as Jacoby Brissett, I know I rifled these stats off yesterday. He's 11-19 in his 30 starts over the last 5 seasons. He's among the worst in QBR and yards per attempt in that time. He's the only quarterback with at least 25 starts, completing under 60% of his passes. And Brissett's average time to throw the last 5 seasons is 2.9 seconds, the 5th longest in the NFL. It's led to him being pressured on 34% of his dropbacks, and that's the 6th highest rate in the NFL since 2017. And that span covers his time with the Indianapolis Colts, and the Indianapolis Colts have a way better offensive line than we do. He had Quentin Nelson off guard. We're about to have Liam Eichenberg. So, who I'm still weary of at that position. So we'll see how it goes. Because you all know, I just don't think he has the anchor and the base for that right now, and the functional strength. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't expect big things. Like for them to win this game, to me, it's going to take a performance from the defense. The defense is going to need to create turnovers, and there's a couple things here that I don't like. Kenyon Drake. No, he doesn't scare me. You know what scares me? We're Dolphin fans. Every time we go play in an ex-Dolphin, they decide to have career games against us or just flat out beat us. And if this guy comes out and has a revenge game against us, I'm going to be so bitter. So there's Kenyon Drake, and then there's I'm glad Jacoby's out. Josh Jacobs. Well, not for fantasy purposes because I have him out on a couple teams, but Derek Carr right now is playing at an MVP level right now. He's figured out how to use Henry Ruggs. That offensive line is actually playing decently well right now. Besides, they have 2 leaks. They have Alex Leatherwood at right tackle, who's allowed 7 pressures in 2 games. That's one leak, and the other leak would probably be John Simpson at left guard, who's allowed 7 pressures as well. Now, Leatherwood's allowed 3 sacks. John Simpson's only allowed 6 hurries and 1 hit. But Leatherwood's legitimately allowed sacks here. So, this is a chance for Jalen Phillips, a guy like that, or Andrew Van Ginkel. I mean, we all had high hopes for Andrew Van Ginkel, and the one question I posed, and I remember I had high hopes for him as well, was now we're going to see him with a full-time workload. Remember, he didn't have the responsibility. He was coming in situationally to give other players reps off, and now he's the guy. And Andy Van Ginkel's been no one's talking about Andrew Van Ginkel right now and how he's been real quiet. Everyone wants to see what they see in Jalen Phillips, but Andrew Van Ginkel the last 2 years has actually produced, and now he's gone. Now it's like he's not even on the field, like he's not even on the team right now. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. We'll see how it ends up going, but yeah, I just don't have a ton of faith going in right now. We can't commit to the run. I just think the O line's bad, and them putting all the blame on Kinley and you know, Brian Flores, tell me the truth, because you're telling me that you're trying to start the best 5 offensive linemen. Why is Austin Jackson one of them? Austin Jackson's not one of the best offensive linemen right now. The scary thing when you put things into perspective is the only guy who would probably be competing for a starting job on another team is Robert Hunt. Every other lineman we have right now would be at best competing for a second string position in training camp. That's just what it is. That's the reality of the situation. And I hate to be the guy that says it, but I mean that's just how I see this right now. I think we're starting to see the cracks in the foundation. So hopefully for their sake, they'll bounce back. Um, they'll bounce back, but we'll see how it goes. All right, let's get into everything here, and let's start off obviously with the the injury report for the week, the final Friday injury report. Here's what it's looking like, people. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa is out, even though he tried to come into the game last week. Brian Flores confirmed he wanted to go this week. The problem is that's that's the throwing side. And I don't know if you saw what Dan Orlovsky actually said about this. He said if you're playing with fractured ribs without the opportunity to heal, sorry, my bad. It's so painful, Orlovsky said. When Tua comes back, he's going to play behind a bad offensive line. They were bad last year, and they're still bad. You're taking a player that is fresh off broken ribs and putting him back in harm's way. That's almost like a boxer that goes back in the ring after a broken jaw. You're going to get punched in the mouth again. So, yeah, it's going to be Orlovsky thinks it might linger all season. So Tua Tagovailoa is out. Expect him to probably at the earliest come back for the Buccaneers game. When I talked to Nick Hicks at Perform, I was told the Raiders and the Colts game, so indicating he would be back for the Bucs game. So take that however you want it. Shout out to the homie Nick Hicks. So Jesse Davis, Jakeem Grant, Emmanuel Ogba, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, all full participants. The sad thing about this is, you want to know the sad thing about the situation? Jacoby Brissett is going to get to play with all the healthy weapons, including Will Fuller, first before Tua Tagovailoa ever gets to in a real live game situation. That's brutal. That is brutal. So let's see what you got, Jacoby. Now, former Dolphin and Bullygate scandal member Richie Incognito is out. So is Roderick Teamer, and so is Dalian Leavitt. Josh Jacobs is doubtful, so he's going to be out probably. And then Carl Nassib was limited today, so you got to think he's questionable, but he'll probably go. And everyone else, Jonathan Abram, Derek Carr, who was battling an ankle injury, Alec Engold, Quinton Jefferson, Nick Kwiatkowski, um, Alex Leatherwood, Yannick Ngakwe, and Darius Philon are all full participants, so they're all going to be going. So the incognito one is a big loss because that's where, he plays where Simpson's playing right now, but and Simpson's been leaky, but hey, the biggest loss on those two right now is Tua Tagovailoa, and the other thing that we gotta put in perspective too is Gus Bradley is the defensive coordinator in Las Vegas, and that Jacoby in this offensive line, they're facing another really smart defensive mind this week, so they're gonna have their work definitely cut out for them. And then we do this weekly. I'm not going to cover it for very long because we don't need to cover it for very long. But, there really is nothing to report in terms of what weather to expect because they're going to be in a dome all day. So, all you can really expect is the black hole to be roaring, and that place is going to be reverberating if they get a lead. So they're 2-0 right now. People are going to be coming out and watching, and they're coming with the Miami Dolphins are limping into town. So the only weather report I would say is it might feel like you're in the middle of an earthquake because of how that place might be shaking, especially if they get a lead early on. So yeah, nothing really to report on that front. When you take a look at both of these two teams, and how they stack up right now, the Las Vegas Raiders are first in the NFL, averaging about 475.5 yards per game. That's almost 500 yards. The Dolphins are 31st, averaging 264.5. The Las Vegas Raiders, like I said, Derek Carr's having an MVP season. They're averaging about 391 yards per game passing the football. The Miami Dolphins are averaging 165, and they're 30th. Now rushing, especially because Josh Jacobs hasn't been fully healthy, the Dolphins are actually doing a better job rushing the ball for about 72.5 yards, whereas they're only rushing for about 67. So our run defense may all go and have a good day this weekend if Kenyon Drake doesn't decide to have the best game of his life. And they're putting points on the board even with that weak running game. I mean, 29.5 points, 7th best in the NFL. That's a lot. Right now, thanks to being shut out, the Miami Dolphins are the worst in the league in points per game at 8.5. Thanks, Jacoby and Flores, for not just putting some points on the board, and Devontae Parker for dropping the pass. Third down percentage, they're 10th best in the NFL, 42.9%. The Dolphins, 15th in the NFL at 41.4%. On the defensive side of the football, right now, they're the better defense. They're allowing 379 yards per game for 16th best. The Dolphins are 14th best, allowing 364 passing yards. Well, I would say at least through the first two stats are more evenish, but then it really goes south. Passing yards, about 254.5 for 16th best for Las Vegas. Miami Dolphins defense allowing 219.5 yards for 12th. And that's because they shut Josh Allen down really well. And they're going to have to do that stuff. Just rush the passer, do what you do best, drop back and say, Derek beat me in man-to-man. Beat us. See if Brian Edwards is really taking that leap that I think he might be starting to take. Henry Ruggs, though, you got to remember, he got over to the top of this defense last year when we played them. If you remember, he blew past Xavier Howard, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But in rushing yards, they're only allowing about 114 yards per game. That's 16th best. The Miami Dolphins are 28th, allowing 134 yards per game. So they might see an uptick from 67 yards. But what that tells us is, if they give up 114, we got the potential here to flirt with 100 yards potentially. So I think they give up about they're giving up right now about 4.6 yards per rush. So with Gaskin averaging over 5 yards per carry, their rushing defense is how we can beat them. We'll get into the keys, but basically, this is the recipe on how you're going to beat this team. Establish the run so you can kill the clock, get points off the running game, take whatever comes to you, and the defense is going to have to shut down the passing game. They do that, we'll win this football game. We might eke it out. So, points per game, their defense is allowing 22 for 10th best in the NFL. The Dolphins are allowing 25.5 for 19th best in the NFL. And then this is the big one. They're only allowing teams to convert third downs at a 33.3% clip, which is sixth best in the NFL. Right now, guys, the Miami Dolphins are allowing a 62.1 third down percentage. That is ridiculous. That means almost just away 2/3 of the time offenses are converting against the Miami Dolphins. That is not good, ladies and gentlemen, by any stretch of the imagination. So, gonna have to be better there. All right. Now, where I stand with my keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. Let's start offensively where I'm at, and I'll obviously explain. So, starting on the offensive side of the football, in terms of keys to victory, protect Brissett. Now, you already got Tua hurt. I already said earlier that he holds the ball on average about 2.9 seconds. Brissett, if y'all thought Tua held the ball too long, Brissett is a guy who holds the ball way too long a lot of the time. So you're going to have to give him time. You're going to have to protect him. I mean, if you knock him out, now we're now going to the practice squad quarterback and Reed Sinnett. Protect Brissett, give him a chance to make some of the throws, because even on you go back and you watch that Devontae Parker throw, look at the pressure he had to evade before he made that throw. So, yeah, that's where I'm out. That's where I'm on with the offensive line. Show up, win some battles, show some pride. Your starting quarterback just got hurt in front of you. Do your job. And I think this comes down to, we've kind of gone away from what this offensive line was built on. They were starting to build a power gap scheme. Now we've gone into more finesse, zone blocking at times. The RPO blocking, this team's just not built for offensive line wise. They're not suited for it. It doesn't suit what their skill sets are. So just go to progression based offense. Let them just pass block. Establish and commit to the run. Now, what I mean by this is, he's shown you, Gaskin's shown you can average over 5 yards per carry. So you've already had multiple times where you've established our running back one can get good chunks every time you give him the football. You've done that multiple times, but now it's time to commit to it. There's no reason why this team shouldn't be running the football 25 to 30 times. With Brissett in a progression-based offense, with Tua in a progression-based offense, with Brissett in an RPO offense, or Tua in an RPO offense, you should be doing that, especially if you're running the RPO offenses, and they're not doing it. No one fears our run game right now, yet we got a guy who's putting up over 5 yards per carry, and last game they give him 5 carries. Enough of this. Okay? Give him the football. There's no reason why Gaskin shouldn't get 15 to 20 carries, and then Ahmed and Brown split the last 5 to 10 carries. Stop. It's time to commit to the run for the quarterback's sake. And then limit mental errors and no turnovers. Listen, we cannot afford, with how the Oakland Raiders offense is playing right now, we cannot afford to give them extra possessions. This offense right now with Brissett at the helm, even with Tua at the helm to an extent, this has been the theme going back to beyond the Tannehill days for this team. You can't afford to give teams extra possessions because we have an offensive powerhouse that's built for shootouts and that's built to come back consistently. This offense with Brissett, they're not built to come back and give up points. They're not built for that. This is going to be an offense that's going to lean heavily on the defense doing their job and running the football. And I'm actually flabbergasted that we haven't committed to the run yet. Eric Studesville, the running back coach, is one of the co-offensive coordinators. It's actually shocked me. So that's where I'm at. Now we go back to protecting Brissett. Right now, Yannick Ngakoue and Max Crosby, they pressured Ben Roethlisberger on 31% of his dropbacks, and the week before that, Lamar Jackson on 56% of his dropbacks. Each of those guys had 5 pressures last week. Okay, right now they're doing a damn good job, and they're going to be switching up. Both can be that Leo. You know what I mean? Both can be that Leo, that rusher, the speed rusher, whatever you want to call it. There's different names for it. The jack. There's different names for it. So we're gonna see what our tackles are made of this weekend for sure. Once again, so they're creating pressure at a ridiculous rate right now. So protect Brissett, establish and commit to the run, limit mental errors, and no turnovers. All right, defensive keys. My defensive keys right here. It's simple. Generate consistent pressure, make Carr uncomfortable. You know, right now, Alex Leatherwood's given up 3 sacks and 7 pressures in 2 games. On the other side, at left guard, Simpson's given up 7 pressures in 2 games. There are leaks. There are battles you can win. Whoever you're going to be lining up over, whether it's Andrew Van Ginkel or Jalen Phillips, they need to win. They need to expose Alex Leatherwood this weekend. Make him, if you can get him uncomfortable from early on, you can affect and disrupt the pass offense without having to intercept him, to switch momentum, to lay a big hit. Just make him feel uncomfortable. My number 2 is stop the run in any chance of Kenyon Drake revenge game. Now, there is no reason this team should run all over us whatsoever. If it goes down this weekend, we got bigger issues at hand than I originally thought. And, you know, I'm a Dolphin fan. I know how ex-Dolphins always play against us. So, avoid a Kenyon Drake revenge season against us. I don't need to see that. It's bad enough I got to watch Jacoby Brissett. I don't need to see Kenyon Drake run up and down against our defense. So that's where I'm at. I do not want to see a Kenyon Drake revenge game. I will lose my mind. And then bend but don't break against Waller and Ruggs. Last year you saw it. Ruggs put a lot of yards on us through the air with Carr, but we didn't let him into the end zone. And now Henry Ruggs, who was already beating Xavier Howard last year, looks like he's taken a step. Avoid those guys consistently beating you, or else it's going to be a very long day for the defense. So it's quite simple. Jalen Phillips, show up, do your job this weekend. Andy Van Ginkel, show up and do your job this weekend. Interior, generate a push, penetrate, do what you got to do, help out the situation. Kenyon Drake, they love passing the football to Kenyon Drake out of the backfield too. So let's wash him out. Let's erase him. And Waller and Ruggs, if it's Hunter Renfrew that beats us, but Waller and Ruggs are gone, or Brian Edwards and Renfrew that beat us, I can live with that. Waller and Ruggs are the guys we know we need to take away this weekend. Take them away. All right. And now my matchup to watch for this weekend, real simple. My matchup to watch for this weekend is easily Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue against Austin Jackson and Jesse Davis. We thought it was bad last week against AJ Epinesa. What do you think Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue are going to do? AJ Epinesa, Mario Addison was out there looking like an all-pro using spin moves on Austin Jackson. What do you think these guys are going to do? Like, just think about that for a second. All right? Already, Max Crosby, 9 hurries, 8 hits, 2 sacks for 19 pressures in just 2 games. I mean, you go look at Yannick Ngakoue, 9 pressures, 8 hurries, 1 hit in just 2 games. So, I mean, and just for everyone to just to put in things into perspective too here, you know, between the two of them, they also have 11 stops in the run game as well. So Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue are having no problem setting the edge either. So Jesse Davis, Austin Jackson, are y'all about to get exposed once more? Because Jacoby Brissett, we could be walking in to a game against Indianapolis with Reed Sinnett starting at quarterback if these guys play the way they did last week. Because we are leveling up from AJ Epinesa and you know, we're not even talking about Carl Nassib. He's been kind of quiet this season so far. But we are leveling up from Mario Addison and AJ Epinesa this week. Max Crosby has been one of the best edge players, I should say, since he's been drafted in this league, man. So let's see what y'all got. They can come from the right. Either one can come from the right or the left. They play both sides. So we're going to see. They're going to give us different looks. It's going to be real interesting. Communication is going to have to be better on that offensive line. So we will see. That's my matchup to watch inside the game this weekend. Man, gonna be it's gonna be interesting to watch to see how this all goes down. That's for sure. So, where do I stand in terms of prediction? Well, my prediction is the Miami Dolphins will score 9 points to the Raiders 24. The only way I actually even see us putting up a touchdown is on the ground. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Raiders winning 24-9. Actually, already, if you listen to the finish line that came out today, you've already heard that. If you listen to Fin Too Deep, my podcast with Neil, you heard that as well. So I have the Dolphins I just don't have faith in Jacoby Brissett. So, and what's crazy is I made this prediction originally on Wednesday night. This was the Thursday night score. So, you know, there's just a lot of issues right now. Like, look at the right guard right now, Jermaine Illuminor for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's the second highest graded interior player in the NFL by PFF, and we let him walk out the door. We didn't even, he started last year at right tackle. We didn't even let him compete with Jesse Davis at right tackle. This Lemuel Jean-Pierre comes out and says he thought Wirfs was going to be an all-pro guard and said he saw that he can play tackle too. That doesn't mean he would have played him at guard. You're not the guy, buddy. You are not the guy, Lemuel Jean-Pierre. And I think Brissett, goes to what I said. I don't think Watson could, I think Watson could win more than Brissett with his offense, clearly, and than Tua. But I think he would still get killed behind this offensive line eventually. And Brissett, a guy who's known for holding the ball too long, a guy who Philip, 5 years deep in the NFL, and Philip Rivers with a noodle arm comes in and beats him out. Sorry, Jacoby. Sorry, I just don't have faith this offense is going to done. And I believe they're going to leave our defense out to dry, but our defense is going to play good enough where they only give up 24 instead of 35 points. So that's where I'm at with my prediction. It's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how this game unfolds, man. It's going to be, can you stop the pass while establishing the run, taking time of possession away from the Raiders while getting whatever points you can on offense, and the defense holding firm and holding tight and doing their job. Like, I really believe if the Dolphins want to win this game, like, they need to limit the Raiders to like under 15, 16 points to stand a chance. I think the defense needs to win the game. It's right back to last season. We're asking for the defense to come out and win us a game, especially if we go with the RPO-based offense we went with last week, because Brissett was just struggling. I mean, Brissett averaged 2.9 yards per pass while we ran the ball and averaged, as a team, 3.6 yards per rush. I mean, you want to talk about dinking and dunking. Jacoby Brissett was dinking and dunking all day because the offensive line wasn't giving him time. So, Jason Grief says, if I have to watch Reed Sinnett, I might just turn off the game. Brother, you want to hear something? Say what you want from me. I believe I would rather watch Reed Sinnett. I know what Jacoby Brissett's floor is. And so do the Raiders, okay? Like, you want to talk about a guy whose tape's out there? Reed Sinnett, no one knows what we're getting. At least with Sinnett, we have a snowball. Like, we have a chance to catch someone by surprise here. Reed Sinnett, I would actually even rather see what Reed Sinnett has. And you know what? Let's keep it a buck. If this guy comes out and he struggles on the first drive mightily and looks poor, well, guess what? You better be quick to pull Jacoby Brissett. You're holding all these other players, these different standards. You better be quick to pull Jacoby Brissett if he doesn't look like he's got it. So 24-9, I just don't have faith right now. Sorry. All right, if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do those through the super chat. You can also donate through paypal.me/Finside. You can become a Finside the NFL Patreon, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. With Patreon, you get access to information that I can talk about that I don't necessarily make public. Inside information, I put it on there, and we knew if you were a Patreon, you knew Eichenberg was going to be starting at left tackle when Jackson got brought up the COVID list. You also were updated and knew all the ins and outs of the Xavier Howard stuff that ended up being correct. So a lot of good information gets posted on there. You also get access to film studies when I drop them. I'll be having my next film study is going to be Javon Holland. And I'll be dropping that to Patrons as well as YouTube channel members exclusively for a day or two first before I release it to the full public. And you'll also be made a mod. If you are a Patreon and you have not been made a mod, please let me know in the chat or message me on Patreon so I can make you a mod. So shout out to all the Patrons: Rhino Sith, Big Spike 94, K All Day, Ramon Casillas, Seth, Slim Pickens, Red Dino, Marino's Goat, Keith Davis, your boy Trev, Josh, Jazz03, Martin, Arkham Elf, Irving, Drew Boo, The Show, Jawar Thompson, Jeff Jackson, Andre Villarreal, J Love T, Todd Labruto, The Enigmatic Man, Georgie Boy, Florida born, Kentucky grown, Michael Rodriguez, Dennis Klassen, Philip Leduc, Cody Patron, Tommy Flores, Ron Levy, Marino Ron, Anthony J. Marine, Brett Potvin, Joe Crotwell, Rhonda, Darth Logan the 15th, Justo, Robert Martin, Reginald, Kyle Bow, Drip Entertainment, Anything's Possible, Troy, Nelson Alfonso, Ernesto Gonzalez, Rafael Lopez, and then continuing on, Franklin Lejeune, Timothy Sapinenza, Dylan, David Figley, Miami Fan 113, Fins 1, Quentin Martin, Ryan Williams, Mauricio Waddlehouse, Daddy Dean, Anthony Giandoletti Jr., Joe Levesque, Jose Valdez, Gino Ronaldo, Guy Corner, Mitchell Gordon, Vaughn Green, Dennis Klassen, Derek Batten, Zachary, aka Z-Man, Finn Shady 1313, Victor Fernandez, Maurice Perkins, Finn's Daily, Hawaii Dolphin 808, G Firm 456, Flip City, Bob Oliver, Ian McGill, Spencer Richardson, Russell Grace, IT Respect, Garrett Lambert, Travis Brown, Manny, Nathan Berkey, Otto Bell, Hunter Chaney, Jason Patrick, Alejandro, Uncle Billy, Zeke One, Hammer, Chaz, Tardy, Tyler, Serge, and Richard Freire, and Isaiah Taylor. Shout out to all you guys. Go ahead, drop your name in the chat or DM me, and I can make you a mod if you not have been modded yet. Now, if you want to become a member of the channel, there's multiple levels where you can become a member. Just you can follow the link directly in the chat, or you can go ahead and you can hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button. With the membership, you get early access to the film study like patrons, but you get access to custom emojis you can use in the chat, and you also get a badge next to your name, which is the Dolphins logo, and they evolve every certain amount of months you stay a member. So shout out to all the members of the channel, because, you know, just like the Patreons, whenever I get demonetized, you guys help me out. So I appreciate all of you, all 115 of you. Damien Deese, MF Fins 1, Seth Twizzle, Law 100, 442, Timothy Whiteman, Yawa Bulla, Bruce 1, Foxing Around, Dr. Drab, Tiffany Sapinenza, Nico, Fake Spike 94, Jazza 803, D-Ray 91, Tilly Flips, Marcus 84, Ty Rhodes, Florida born, Kentucky grown, SC42, The Show, Kevin Williams, Rhonda, Philip Leduc, Zachary Harris, Dennis Klassen, Birdman, 100 Ante, Ramon Casillas, Michael Simmons, Ron Levy, Chad Marcion, Tony Marine, Barry Bailey, DC, Richmond Webb, Furious, K All Day, Irving Figueroa, Julian, Scorpion King, Whale One, IG, WRX for Life, Fred Rivera, Justin Dunker, Cash, Zanny Jinzo, your boy Trev, Caddyshack, Vince Forever 72, Storm Warrior, Daryl Canna, Big Time, Wayne Hedgeman, Quint Riddle, Takamizi, Harriet Clements, Todd Beards, James Steele, Dolphin Dawn, Jeremiah Kelly, Big John Stud, Corn 72, Chef Jude, Tommy, Robert Martin, Ricky Butts, Joel Fields, Daddy Dean, BK2 Day, Dylan Usman, Ramon Elatondo, A. Turner 05, Chalk Van Straw, Miami Fan 113, James Jordan, Ivan Ulysses, Darth Logan the 15th, Sal Powell, Joel Levesque, Robert Taylor, Big Spence, DM, Rock Hawkins, Franklin Lejeune, Kyle Bo, Simone Sniper 13, Esteban Santana, South Florida Dawn, Go to Valoa, Stetson, Les Palpatalk, Fins Up Nubins, D. Capichelli, Tony Osawa, Dolphin Sweden, Tarnaman T, James Jordan, Rafael Ferrero, Bleezy 38, Wayne D. Music, Pierre Lewis, D Hug All Day, Tyler, Sleepy, Fins for Life, Sherrod Ford, Sean Haller, Marino's GOAT, George Rabber, Cody Patron, Matthew Rankin, and Jose Valdez. Shout out to each and every one of you. And we're about to get into we're going to break down the linebackers right here, and then I'll open it up for a little bit to you guys. Patchvibes.com, use code FINSIDE to save 20% off your order. You can get shirts, you can get the tumbler, like this tumbler you always see me drinking out of. Backroomcollection.net. Use code REASON, save 10% off your order. Y'all have seen the Jalen Waddle and the Tua picture I got. It's real nice. I'm going to put it up here behind me eventually. And then thrivefantasy.com. Use code FINSIDE at www.thrivefantasy.com. And once you sign up to $100 deposit, they will match every single dollar up to $100. So you deposit 50, they're going to match you with another 50 to bring you to 100. You deposit 100, they'll match you with another 100 to bring you to 200. It is your number one online source for prop fantasy bets, thrivefantasy.com. All right. Let's get into this linebacker stuff. And I just wanted to go show you how, like, a weak second level can lead to explosive plays. But also I wanted to highlight some of the things that, that you hear me talking about with certain players. I'm not lying. Like, they're still appearing up on film. Like, people have been watching me talk about Baker. They just remember my Baker video from last year. Well, he pops up a lot in this. And this is a guy who you all know I was critical of the money we paid him. And I just wanted to go ahead and show each and every one of you this stuff. And so let's get into like a little mini. I'll tell you, this isn't going to be as depth as like what I'm going to do on Javon Holland and such like that. But we're going to do a little mini film study. I got 10 plays I want to break down on the linebacker core that we've seen over the last 2 weeks and heading into this week. All right. So let's get into this right now. All right. So let me just starting off here. You can see Dolphins are currently showing initially cover 2. And this is just the opening play of the season and the first play that the Patriots run on us. So what you see right now is the two guys in the middle there is Alandon Roberts is your Mike towards the strong side, and right now Baker's your Will. He's towards the weak side right there. He's on the right in the middle. And we're gonna watch it through here, and what you can see is Andrews, the center, is gonna snap the ball. He's gonna get to the second level. He's gonna engage Baker right there. See him engage Baker, while Shaq Lawson, the right guard, is who's currently engaging Alandon Roberts right there, and both guys just get displaced, and that creates the huge lane right there for Damian Harris. Look at that, gone. And Damian Harris, both your guys in the middle got washed out completely on that play. You're going to see it better here. So they'd run their motion, checking to see if we're in man or zone. We're still showing zone. They get the handoff. Now look at that hole right there. Okay, Landon Roberts is engaged on the right side here with Shaq Mason, and it's just Baker just totally washed out by 69 right there. Like, brought down to his knees basically. And there's a big play. They're just not good against the run, but what does this show you again? Once he can't play in traffic and he can't get off his blocks. It's just not his strength, right? So watch Baker here again. Let's watch it. Look at Andrews, gets to the second level, washes him out. Sorry, I said 69 earlier. It's Andrews 60, washed out Baker right there. And then, look at Alandon Roberts totally taken out by Shaq Mason. and it's too late. And huge gain, and that's how this season started. Nothing real good. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. So Baker again is towards the weak side, with Roberts as the mic, and this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about when I say Baker can't get off his blocks until the runner has passed him. Well beyond the line of scrimmage, when the yardage is already gained when he makes his tackle. Those tackles, I tell you, where they padding the stats. This is exactly what it showed you. So look at Jenkins gave him the sign over the hip that they're coming, and look, Baker's engaged right now. Lane's there, but I mean, look at what he already gained. He cannot get off the blocks. So you go back. We'll watch this right here. So what you're gonna see is the left guard. I believe it's Michael on Wenyu. I believe it's on this play. He's gonna give a slight chip to the inside, and then he's gonna step up to the second level. He's gonna take on Baker with ease. Roberts is gonna try and get into the backfield, but Jonnu Smith, he's gonna use his momentum and leverage against him and plant him to the turf. So watch here. Better view. So here you go. John who engages. He's driven down. And look at the job and when he's doing on Baker. Just mauling him right now. Right? Baker's head's down. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's locked in the chest. And then there you go. He tries to release, but it's too late. The damage is done. The holes in the lane's been created. And first down gained. So Dolphins are now showing that single high shell they love so much. Baker is right over here, over top of the B gap. He's showing a potential blitz. And watch here, the ball is going to be snapped. And Baker, now you see Baker going out into the flats with James White, who's coming out of the backfield. And you're going to see here, right there, before he gets to the 30, I'm going to roll it and watch James White. He's going to give a little hezzy step right there. And Baker bites just enough on that now the outside leverage is gained on the wheel route. He's now gone on him. And Mac just drops it over the shoulder. Easy completion. Baker doesn't even have a potential play on the ball because he's chasing and trying to make up ground instead. Big gain. Big gain right there. So again, you see Baker showing it right here. And he's actually going to end up following White. We see how he looped Wilkins up the middle. Wilkins came free, but the wheel route was already open. Boom. Right in the basket. First down. Come on, guys. I thought Jerome Baker was good in coverage. It's the same stuff that it's the same stuff we were seeing last year. All over again. So now Dolphins cover one look again, while Pats are 12-man personnel they got Max Protect to the right. So Baker and Sam Igwavine are almost immediately going to get washed out, and Harris is going to have a huge lane up the gut. Watch this. There's up right there. Look at washed. Look at the blocking. Gone. Look at the God view right here. So now they got Baker and Sam Igwavine working the middle on this one. No Landon Roberts. Shucks. So Baker, he's going to engage. He's going to step up and engage. He's brought down to his knees right there. And if you go back, look at 49. What 49 is going to do here is he's going to bite on the handoff. He's going to over pursue just a little too much to the left. So when that cutback comes, he's walked himself into traffic. And now he's got to try and disengage, but it's too late. And first down by James White. All right, again, this is a cover one zone look right here. And it's a cover one. They drop in the zone. Sam Miguelini, he's playing the running back here. You see him lined up. I believe he's in the A gap right now. He's filling the A gap, shading the right shoulder of Andrews, the center. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna drop back into coverage, but watch. He runs in, he pushes off Jenkins, right? He runs into Jenkins, bumps him a little bit. And if you see right now, if you look at the 30 to the right, Kendrick Bourne, he's on a drag route and he's starting to break on his drag route to come across. And Sam McGovern flips his hips and starts his back pedal, and he's just going to overdrop on his buck drop. He overdrops way too far back, almost to the 40, gives up that everything in front of him. Kendrick Bourne is now right there. He wasn't even aware of Kendrick when he was dropping back. And then here's where it gets ugly. You've got him towards the sideline. Look at the angle he took. He didn't take an angle towards the ball carrier. He takes an angle towards the sideline. See? And what happens is he gets washed out with a cutback and he gets made to look foolish. Bad angle, man. Bad open field angle by Sam Iguavon. And now he makes a couple other defenders look foolish and gets up. So instead of getting knocked out back at, let's go back here. Instead of getting knocked out at around the 49, the 39, he gets it all the way up to about the 46. So 6 extra yards because he took a bad angle. Now, there was an illegal blindside hit on that play, but, you know, it was still a terrible play. You're going to see it here again. Drops back after running in, and he didn't notice him. Like, he overdropped because he didn't notice him coming from his left side. And that's why that's the spatial awareness, defensive awareness. And then he over pursues on a bad angle, and he's hung out to dry, and Sam McGovern looks like crap on that. All right, now let's go to the Bills game. Just like the week before, the run defense is exposed almost immediately on the opponent's opening drive here. Baker, if you see Baker right here, Baker is standing at the 47-yard line right here. And what he's going to do is he's going to get caught flat-footed. And he actually isn't going to break on the ball carrier until the ball carrier, who's Devin Singletary, crosses the line of scrimmage. Now, what you have also here in the box sitting at the 40 is McCourty's out here too. They're bringing Brandon Jones in as that hybrid linebacker safety right now, that extra DB right now, while playing him in the box. And if you look at the left guard for the Bills, he's going to get to the second level, just give an initial pop to Brandon Jones. He's going to cause Jones to lose balance and be taken out of the play. And the second level is compromised instantly by a slow read and recognition and reaction by Baker, and Brandon Jones just not having the prerequisite strength at the second level when a guard comes there. So look at Baker's flat-footed right now. He's just watching, right? Baker now has started to break, and Devin Singletary is almost about 1.5 yards past the line of scrimmage. You see right there at about the 42-yard line, the pop on Brandon Jones. His back is now towards the play. He's out of it. And there you go. Just like lightning, Devin Singletary is up the seam and down the left sideline for a touchdown. So this is what I talk about. Baker doesn't have great read and recognition skills. Again, watch to the second level. Pop, you're done. Baker's now just breaking. Just breaking. And it's too late. He's washed out. He washed himself out. And that's a touchdown. Like, Baker just reacted so slow there. It was unreal. So again, I hate to be picking on Baker a little bit here, but I'm going to. So what I'm just gonna highlight here is if you look at the right edge for the right side of the Miami Dolphins line, that's Phillips standing up, and that's Baker over top of the left tackle. And I just want to show you again, Baker having problems getting off blocks, but watch Jalen Phillips get off that block. He works harder to get off the block. Watch. Okay, so the give right there. Look at, he's already off his block. Baker can't get off of it. Baker just gets pushed back and driven into his man. So y'all been wondering where Phillips is. Look at Phillips. He's able to look at fights, hand fighting, gets off of it, makes the tackle. Baker just falls back in the man, but the damage is already done. Can't set the edge, boys. Can't set the edge. All right. So this is Baker right here again. Basically what's going to happen here is you got Baker right here over the B gap, shading the outside shoulder of the left guard and the inside shoulder of the left tackle. And what he's going to do is he's going to drop back into the middle of the field, another buck drop. And what he's actually going to do is he's going to bite. They're going to bring a mesh concept with two drags over the short part of the field. And then behind that, they are going to bring Cole Beasley on a crosser route. And what they're going to do is watch Jerome Baker against instinctual. You got to play with instincts. He's going to bite right here. He flips it back into his zone. Like he bites on the digs right there, right? He bites on that digs drag without realizing he's got help back here. Yes, it's about a yard back from him, but he's got help if that catch is made. So you don't need to overly bite on that. But if you see right here at the 35, Beasley's now coming across right in the middle of that field. That's Baker's area. That's on Baker, Jerome Baker. Now Jerome Baker is realizing, oh crap, look at the middle of the real estate that he gave him over the middle of the field because he didn't buck drop back far enough. And now it's there and big gain. So just got to do a better job. Right? He's watching. If you watch him, he's watching the running back out of the backfield. If the running back is coming to his side, it's going to be his priority. Now the mesh concept begins right in front of him. Watch. Now he's moving towards Diggs. He's biting on Diggs. He's mirroring Diggs, right? Without realizing, look at, there's help over here on this, so he left him, but there's help all the way over here on the other side to help with this Diggs route. And instead, now Beasley, you can see him coming behind Baker. Boom, right there. All right, so this is just a piss poor tackling effort by Jerome Baker. He's gonna be on the bottom of your screen right now. And I want you to watch the effort he gives on the ball carrier. This is an effort play for me. He gets free. Look at the one time Jerome Baker sheds a tackler. Look at this. And that's the effort you get tackling. He goes high and he can't get a hold of the shoulders and it's over with. One more time. Look at Jerome, because it's a tight end, gets off the block right here and it's kicked out. Look at, he's right there. He's ready. Goes, look at that. Didn't even wrap him. Didn't even attempt to. Just goes high on the chest. And now it's kicked out. McCourty goes low. Like, just a piss poor effort. And then finally, Landon Roberts. Now, this actually made me mad because Javon Holland did this earlier on a 7-yard run by Zach Moss. And now Landon Roberts does it. Now, watch. The defensive line does a great job of opening the hole so Landon Roberts can scrape over and get a one-on-one with the back. But watch what he does. Okay, hole's open, right? Look at that. And now you see him pursuing at the top of the A. Landon Roberts goes for the big hit. Landon Roberts goes to pop him to send an echo through the stadium instead of wrapping him, and it's a touchdown. Like, tackling fundamentals here. Like, Bernard McKinney is wrapping that runner up, and he's getting stuffed. Look at, you got a one. That is tunnel of love right there. You got a one-on-one. You're on downhill, full momentum, and what does he do? I want the hit. Moss just lowered his shoulder, prepared for the hit, and he bounced off him into the end zone. Like, you need a better effort there. That is a bad effort. Look at that. Inexcusable. They gave you the one-on-one. And look at that. Because you go for the big hit instead of being responsible and being a sure tackler, they put up 6 on you. Poor. George, you're not wrong, because I said last year Baker is an off-the-ball blitzing linebacker. Use them shooting gaps, use them off the line of scrimmage between the tackles, but that's what he's best at. That's how they used him for the majority of last year. That's how they found that success. Anyways, look at this. That is Baker's washed out. I mean, like, look, we see Baker being washed out all the way back to the middle of the end zone. He's the furthest pushed back defender. That is your bread and butter, Landon Roberts. You are supposed to make that stop. That is your stop to make, Landon. Look at Seiler washes. They created the lane for you to scrape over, fill the gap, and this is the effort you give tackling. Give me a break. I don't know why we got rid of McKinney if we're going to get that kind of effort. So, guys, yeah, that's, a lot of poor stuff. And, we explained some of the big plays that happened was because of the second level. I mean, we just need better stuff. And that was just to show you, man, I don't know who this team thought they were affording, thinking they could afford getting rid of a talent like McKinney. Baker, for all the money he got paid. Look at all the lapses we've seen in the first 2 weeks. So he's been exposed a little bit again. So, for having too much responsibility in his defense. So we just need better play on that. That second level right now is it is the Achilles heel of our defense. We just need better effort. We need better stuff up there from that that second level, man. So yeah, next week we'll I'm gonna either next week or the week after I'm gonna drop that Javon Holland film study, but that'll go to the Patreons and the members first before it comes to all you guys. But yeah, we'll next Tuesday instead of Tua, we're gonna take a look at the offensive line with Ball Game and Martin, and hopefully I can get another special guest on there to see if it lines up with the schedule that I have in mind. And then on Thursday, we'll do a little breakdown like that. I'm going to try and do that weekly. But yeah. All right, guys. So I am going to open it up a little bit here. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So this is why I said we need a mic. You see the poor read and recognition. You see the lack of instincts. You see Landon Roberts is supposed to be a thumper in the run game, and he isn't showing that at all. So, Yeah, we'll get into all that stuff. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what we just looked at. Gonna drop that link. So yeah, I mean, I want to hear you guys' predictions on what you think the Raiders are gonna do. Let me know what you see now that I've broken it down a little bit about where the second level of our linebacking, the second level of our defense, where that's currently at. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on all that stuff. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how many optimists there are for this weekend's game. Who's gonna put on their blinders and their homer hats? I want to know. I want to see. Cash, what's going on, dude?
What's going on, brother?
How you doing, buddy?
Hanging in, man. Just, kind of, I'm anxious about this game. I was excited about the Bills game before that ass whooping. I was ready to go. But this one, I'm just not sure what the product is that they're going to put out on that field.
Yeah. Chris, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Reason. Great film breakdown as always. We appreciate it. Bring it to us, bring the knowledge. And oh, God, that was hard to watch. We've been talking about this, and Ian just said he got home. Oh, my God. I told him that this was the Why We Need McKinney Back segment. He missed it.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. And situationally, not only with Baker continuing to not get off blocks, but situationally taking, into account that goal line, play, taking out Baker and putting in McKinney, having somebody who's instinctual and who's not going to play the hit stick game. Situationally, I understand it is more important for me to wrap up and bring him down. And that's just boneheaded plays, man. Boneheaded plays.
Bro, they're all over the place. I like, don't get me wrong. There were some good plays. Like after that big run, Damian Harris had. They put in Sam Iguavine in the middle, and he made a big run stop after it. The Damian Harris run to start off the season against us. So there were some good plays, but I wanted to show this is why it's our weakness right now, and we weren't in a position to get rid of McKinney, like you said. Jazz803 donates $5. He says Miami 13, Las Vegas 38.
Reasonable. That's reasonable. Can't even be mad at it.
I don't know. 38's a little much because I think the reason
we just put up 35. Look, we just got 35 handed to us.
Yeah, but you also have to understand.
Not unreasonable.
And I agree, but I'm just saying that I do think that our defense is going to show up. But the biggest problem is Brissett and this offense going to be able to extend drives and not just wear out our defense in the first half? And knowing that we're going to play in Las Vegas, and that's you're not going to win if you're not extending drives. Period.
All right, I want to keep bringing everyone on because we got people.
Yeah, my fault.
Logan, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing, dude?
Logan.
Logan's on the phone. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
I can tell the quality of the bro room is. I can't hear that it's not there.
Yeah. Man, Baker's getting cooked. Yeah, it's crazy.
Love it, bro. Did you just take Jerome Baker off one of the pans at your work, bro? Because he just got fried.
Yeah, dude. got cooked like a cupcake, man. It's crazy.
Pyro, what's going on, dude?
What's up, guys? Very depressing day. Very depressing day. I am not excited for a Sunday, man. I'm just being really honest with you.
I'm not the only one.
Man, y'all funny.
What's going on, dude?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Great breakdown. It was hard to watch, of course, but good breakdown.
And reason, if you zoom
anything centered around Jerome Baker is hard to watch.
If you zoom into my profile pic, you'll understand how I feel.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
The turnstiles.
Yeah, the turnstiles. Big John Stud, what's going on, dude?
What's going on, buddy?
John.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Crypto probably still has us going 13-4. What's going on, bro?
Absolutely. I replaced one of those wins that we was going to lose to, and now we're going to finally beat the Texans.
You gotta,
So we
gotta
still go
make,
13
gotta
and
make
4.
adjustments. Gotta make the adjustments. Gotta make the adjustments.
Hey man.
Yeah, we do.
So
It's looking bad. I'll change my prediction and once we lose the
Hey,
fourth
Crypto,
game.
but Crypto, you may be onto something, man. We may do lose to the Texans, get blown the fuck out. So hey, you onto
Yeah.
something, right? You onto something.
What you call it? Yeah.
Bro.
Hey,
Everything's on the table.
anybody into prop betting, you might want to take Kenyon Drake for a 35-yard run on their first drive.
And if you're into prop betting,
Oh my God.
thrivefantasy.com. Dr.
Boom.
Draft, what's going on, buddy?
What a plug! What a plug!
Yeah, that was a good one, boy.
What's going on, buddy? What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I feel like it's a little too early to feel like a Dolphins fan again. That's what I feel like, man. I didn't think this was coming this early, but I kind of feel like deja vu, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And reason I caught,
And
I
Ennis,
missed the tail. I missed the tail end of it. You said that Nick said he was going to be back for which game?
he said that he's going to miss the Colts and the
Raiders.
the
The Raiders and
game.
Colts. Yeah.
Okay.
Ennis, what's going on, dude?
Going on, y'all. I just came up to say real quick because I didn't get to say it this morning. I was told we need to either be a Tua fan or a Dolphin fan. I'm both. Ain't nobody gonna tell me who I need to be. I'm gonna root for who I want to root for. And if y'all can't deal with that, then get out your feelings, like Reason said. But you ain't gonna tell me I need to be a Tua fan or a Dolphin fan because I like him as my quarterback.
Hell yeah.
Point blank.
Exactly.
Period. I'm not
And especially
on it, but people know who said that earlier, and y'all let them say that, and that was some clown stuff and letting them say that. Who tells people that they can be? You got to be a Tua fan or a Dolphin fan. He's our quarterback. He's on our team, just like Jacoby's quarterback in this week. I'm a root for him. I don't think he's gonna win, but I'm still gonna root for him because he's a Dolphin.
Exactly.
Excuse my language, but motherfuckers need to get out their feelings with this bullshit.
Who said this?
AM Dolphin fan said that this morning. He said we need to decide. Who you telling me need to decide? I don't need to decide nothing. I'm older than you. You don't tell me who I need to vote for or what side I need to be on.
Oh, do I? Oh, well.
Then you telling people how to root for the players and who they should. No, you ain't gonna tell me because I'm a Tua fan that I gotta be Tua fan only. I'm not a Dolphin fan because I root for him.
Hey,
You got
Ennis,
me messed up.
listen, bro.
Man.
That's a crazy ultimatum.
Listen, man, don't feel bad.
Yeah,
Don't
it's-
feel
I'm just
bad.
saying I'm sorry I had to get that on my chest because I didn't like that. People telling people what they got to do and who they should. No, everybody, like, I don't bash people for watching comment. I just say my piece and I let it go. But I don't bash them for that. I don't say you need to pick a side. I don't call them the lack of Dolphin fans, whether they want watching or tour. I don't say that to them. But you ain't gonna tell people they gotta pick a side when it comes to tour. Come on, man. That's disrespectful to grown men. Like, who are you talking to?
Jazz 803 says logo on the helmet over and name on the jersey. And I get that. I mean, I've said you root for the logo unless the players transcend it. But I mean, I get being fan. Like, dude, guys, I just showed you all that footage.
Yeah.
There's people who go to war for Jerome Baker. When I said what I thought about his contract on Twitter, people were coming for my ass because of their love for, and that's a guy who's shown you nothing. And that he's like, at least two is flashed, bro.
I mean, yeah, bro.
It's the same thing with Rosen. The same thing happened with Rosen. Like, it's just, the thing is, a lot of us, when this whole Tua stuff happened, me and EM, one of the original things we thought when, we looked at our evaluation and we saw the Dolphins take him was that, Tua's going to end the divide in the fan base about a quarterback right now. And that's actually, to me, that's actually the hardest part of it all, of people questioning him, is that he hasn't ended that divide. And EM Dolphins #1 fan says EM is my boy, respect him. And he's got the old picture of EM when he used to be on the show all the time. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh, bro,
and that's my thing though, is my thing is if we sit here and talk about, you gotta But they keep saying you got to root for Tua, blah, 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 or you got to root for the Dolphins. I want Jacoby Brissett to play well. But the problem is just like they want to preach about, oh, you got to be honest about Tua, you got to be honest about Tua. Well, you got to be honest about Jacoby, too.
You know what I don't like?
And we just watched the film that you broke down.
Dude.
The film you broke down earlier this week. It shows he has major faults. But let's just act like he's 6 years in and he's already better than Tua. Okay, you say there's no quote-unquote significant drop-off between the two. But in reality, you're insulting Jacoby by saying that a rookie who is injured throughout his entire rookie season and is now 1 1/4 of a game's start, that he plays the same level that a 6-year veteran does, then you're dissing the guy that you're promoting. That's my issue.
Well, you can already tell what the narrative being set up is. It's going to be if Brissett plays well, and the offensive line blocks a little bit better for him, it's all Tua's fault, right? When here's the thing.
Yeah.
This offensive line, I've proven and I've shown, is not built for an RPO offense. That's why you saw in the preseason when they were looking a little bit better with Tua in there, it was a progression-based offense and they sprinkled in RPO. Now they're doing all this finesse and this zone blocking, and our guys aren't finesse players. They are power gap scheme, knock you in the mouth finesse guys, okay? And they're going away from that. But you need to install this offense this week back to a progression-based offense because that plays to Brissett's strengths. And really, when Tua comes back, you should keep with the progression-based offense and sprinkle in the RPO because you need him to grow with his progressions. Every rookie needs to learn.
And I agree, but I think that
and a little bit of tempo
talking about.
Can I ask y'all one thing though? Okay, say we do Washington with that cap next year, Pick's gone, and these guys do not progress. What team are we going to really have around it? There's a lot of contracts expiring. How are we going to sign Agba? How are we going to bring X back? How are we going to sign Mike Gesicki? How are we going to bring in better offensive linemen? If he takes $30 million of that cap space.
Yeah. Look, I know we're only 2 games in, but half of them players you named right now, I wouldn't miss.
I mean, we're going to lose a bunch of receivers too. I mean,
how do we put a roster?
Fuller, Albert Wilson,
Jacoby? No, not Jacoby.
What type of roster are we going to put around him? Though?
Can throw to himself and he can get a touchdown.
Right, that's what JD said. He fixes everything. I said he
playing Watson, my boy.
He blocks. I said he catches. He punts. He kicks field goals too. He fixes everything.
And he gets sacked.
I don't think anybody can perform behind this line, which is why I'm so anxious about what I'm going to see on Sunday.
Yeah,
I think the only thing I would say is the same thing Reason said.
So I got to make room for EM. So Crypto, come back after EM. Go ahead, Big John.
Oh shit!
I said the same thing that Reason was saying. The difference in the offense, if you do see one, is that Will Fuller is on the field, and just like Josh Allen was garbage until Stephon Diggs arrived in Buffalo, that's what we figured Tua would become or would help him propel. All of a sudden, Brissett's get to play with the toys first. That's the difference in the entire offense. That's the only difference. You can't double cover. You got to cover. Because you got to double cover Fuller because you double. Yeah, but the thing is, once
we lost you. You're muted.
Yeah, you're still talking. Josh,
who has my name in their mouth? Reason? Who has my name in their mouth?
Oh, I think it was brought up earlier today. Was I guess the claim was that you can't.
Hold on, Reason. I don't need you to say it for me. I said it.
Go ahead.
I said you said we need to decide if we gonna be Tua fans or Dolphins fans.
Absolutely.
No, we don't. No, we
yes,
don't.
You do. Yes,
no,
you
I
do.
Don't.
Let me explain.
Who are you to tell me what I need to be? How you tell me what I need to be?
Time to get
you be whatever you want to be. I can give a fuck. But listen, at the end of the day, bro.
Me either. I can't do it. That's why I said what I said.
I don't give a fuck with you. I don't give a fuck with
you. Your point
you are, bro.
But at the end of the day,
But at the end of the day, you casual fans, y'all are gonna live and die in your feelings. You're gonna let your feelings cloud your judgment in terms of your evaluation with Tua as a player. What his play on the field dictates. That's what y'all are. If you want to be a casual for your life, go ahead. I don't give a damn. I can give a flip.
You the ones in your feelings telling people they need to decide. You the one that cares so much to tell people they need to decide.
I think it was taken out of context, man.
All I was
saying was evaluate Tua too.
Hold on. Let him go. Let him go.
What I said was, all I'm doing is talking about my opinion about a lot of these idiots in this community. I've been consistent about that. These casual fans make me physically sick. I think they are cancer to this community because they live and die in their feelings. They let that cloud their judgment in terms of evaluations with players. And then on top of that, they're toxic because they start shit, start drama between channels and people in the comment section. So no, bro. At the end of the day, that's my opinion. Yeah. So if you fit that criteria, I'm sorry for it.
So you think that's only Tua fans? You think that's only Tua fans that's doing that? That's my point.
Any fan. That's any
but you
fan.
said Tua fans.
Just any
Tua fans, though. You said Tua fans.
We were talking about Tua specifically, dude. If any fan picked Raekwon Davis and had the same type of approach, with him, letting their feelings cloud their judgment in terms of their evaluation, and not holding him accountable for what he's not doing on the field, I would say the exact same thing to that individual. We were talking about Tua specifically in this particular instance.
But this is what I said the other day, Reason. When people come in these channels and they hear just catch that part, that has people on edge. A lot of people telling them, you see what I'm saying? So if I didn't hear the first part, I'm man enough to say my bad. But when I come in and hear somebody tell me as soon as I tune in, because I'm a fan of Tua, I need to be a Tua fan or a Dolphin fan. Yeah, I take that like a jab. Like, hold on, who's to tell me what I need to do?
Well, it was been at a jab because you got my name in your mouth, dude. When I'm not even up here, that's a whole move. To be honest,
I didn't say you said. He asked me. He asked me.
Who asked you?
First of all,
what?
When I said I was taking address that I'm not a Tua or a Dolphin fan. I'm both. And he said, "Who said that ultimatum?" And I told him who said.
Oh,
so I didn't just bring.
No. What happened?
I didn't just bring you out my mouth, nigga. Watch who you talking to.
Okay, no. Hold on a sec. So what happened? This was this EM. I'll tell you exactly what happened, and everyone can vouch for it. I go bring up everyone one by one and ask them what's on their mind. When I brought up Innis, he basically said, people are saying you need to choose between being a Dolphin fan or being a Tua fan.
I'm talking about a term specifically
hold
in terms
on.
of the evaluation.
Then I said to him, "Who said that?" And then that's when he brought you up.
Oh, okay. Well, it ain't my bad because no. I'm not gonna apologize for shit. But at the end of the day, if it went down, if everything went down that way, then okay, whatever. I'll ease back, but I'll fall back a little bit. But at the end of the day, bro, I don't play that about bringing people's names up on different platforms, especially when they're not there to defend themselves. I don't care who you are. Y'all know that. So it's what it is.
Okay, so hold on. Tony has a question for you, EM. He says, so now we have to choose between a team and its own starting quarterback. Where do they do that at?
No. What I said was, I swear it's like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Bro.
I swear it's like talking to a freaking wall, bro. I mean, man, this for the last time. I am talking about specifically to the individuals that, because of their love affair with a player, with this player in particular, they allow that to crowd their judgment in terms of their evaluation, and they point fingers and blame everybody else and don't hold him accountable for what he's not doing on the field. That is my point. I've been clear about that since day one. Last year, when you had all these idiots. Last year, when you have all these idiots, on other platforms as well as this one, when I offer constructive criticism about what I was seeing, what I was not seeing from Tua, just like everybody want to flip the script and turn on EM Dolphin fan. I have been consistent on my position about Tua since we got him. Consistent, going all the way back to day one inside the NFL. Period.
And I'll say this because I posed the question, everybody was attacking me, and EM did say that's not the case. Because a lot of other people were acting like that because I was up defending Tua, and I was like, so why? Because I defend Tua, am I automatically not a fan of the team? And EM was like, I did not say that. It works both ways for Watson and Tua. So I was there.
You have to over-explain things with context. Like, I talked to EM today, and EM, I heard EM because he said it to me privately. He brought up the mental processing of Tua and where he's at, right? But people are automatically going to say because EM says Tua's not where Herbert or Burrow is, that automatically that means Tua's a dumbass. Yeah. No, what that means is this is the context of the situation. You know, Herbert was groomed by Pep Hamilton, who groomed Andrew Luck, who, you know, when he came to the NFL and then coached Andrew Luck after Stanford with the Colts, he took them to a top 5 offense in the NFL. You know, you look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow last year had an offense tailored to him. It was already in a West Coast offense, and they just added a bunch of concepts that they were using at LSU to make the transition easier for him. Last year, we had Chan Gailey, whose offense was built around Fitzpatrick, and let's all be honest with ourselves. He came back because he wanted to make a playoff run with Fitzpatrick, not groom a young quarterback. If that wasn't the case, he wouldn't have resigned. He would have stuck through it one year after B. There's now EM's not wrong where Tua's at, but you know, it's like this. If you saw Omar Kelly today, someone asked Omar Kelly today, it's a problem with Tua that he's not reading the field, doing it quick enough for reading the whole field. And did you see what Omar Kelly said today? Omar Kelly said his problem is not reading the field. He's been doing it well since all through training camp. He's like, the problem right now is the offensive line. It's not giving him enough time to go
control the ball.
No, I disagree with that. But I want to address Irving. Yeah. I said that earlier about major red flag. I'm talking about Tua's long-term projection. Yes, that's not an over-exaggeration. That's fact. What I said was I see marginal improvement physically from the 2-game sample size that we've been given. I see marginal improvement physically. We talked about this privately, Reed, and you agree with me.
Well, 1 game.
Let
me finish. From what we're seeing, I see marginal improvement from a physical standpoint, and also when you combine that, now if you project that long term for the next 5-10 years, who knows if Tua's going to ever get back to his status pre-injury at Alabama? Who knows that? We don't know that. That's a projection. So what we're seeing now is a physically compromised athlete. Already he wasn't the best athlete on the field to begin with. And you combine that with the lack of mental processing with Tua. Tua is not reading the entire field consistently enough right now. He's not. He is not, bro. He's leaving plays on the field consistently. Bro, look, your boy, Strong Opinion Sports. Did you not see the tape that he put out about Tua? I just saw it today.
Well, he didn't put out tape. He put out a 3-minute little blurb saying that he's disappointed where Tua's at right now.
And I know, and again, I know it. You know, I feel the same way, bro. Because, and I think what he means. Again,
he did bring up the offensive line as well, though, too, right?
And I'm not saying offense is not a problem. What I'm saying is the offensive line definitely is an issue. But what I'm saying is with Tua, when given time, Tua is not reading the field fast enough. And you combine that, the lack of mental processing with the compromised physical ability, bro, that's a major red flag in terms of his long-term projection. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Well,
so for Tua, hang on. So for Tua to be as impactful as we want him to be, he has to excel mentally. And if he's not, and you combine that, and that's going to take time, that's going to take development. But like I said before, with this Watson narrative, unfortunately, Tua is not going to be given that opportunity.
Yeah, but let's stick to Tua instead of going down a path. But you see little things that show you growth when you look hard enough. Example. Go back to the Bills game. No one picks up the corner blitz. Next thing coming around, they bring a safety up to the line. He's basically saying, "Fool me once." You know what I mean? And he picks it up. and he picks it up. So you see,
Nobody's
just like
saying
last
that
year.
reason.
No. Hold on.
Nobody's saying that.
You see, like last year in the Patriots game when J.C. Jackson threw the interception, J.C. Jackson comes back in the second half. J.C. Jackson fills the passing lane, pump fakes, tucks, runs in a touchdown. So you see little growths. You see little things that are like, okay, this kid, he's showing in-game adjustments mentally, so he's picking things up. It's just you would like to see him picking things up initially and not having to learn from his lumps and mistakes. But at the same time, I know it's his second season, but it's the Bills game was only the Bill game was only his 11th start.
What did I always say? If the Watson narrative was not an option, if that was not a real thing,
this wouldn't be under the microscope.
This would be a conversation. I'm talking about in terms of to where he is now. It's not consistent enough to get this coaching staff to move away from entertaining and acquiring Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Deshaun Watson. We're sticking on Tua.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. My point is, that's part of my evaluation. That's my whole point about Tua, where he is now, bro. So I'm not talking about if Tua. What I'm saying is he just needs more development, and unfortunately,
he does.
He's
only 11 games in, right? He's only 11 games in.
But that's what I wanted to say. The only thing
Hold on a sec. I got a donation. $4.99 Daryl Wallace. EM, with all due respect, the kid wanted to play this week after damn near getting his ribs broken. So how is he not there mentally? Dude, he's talking about processing on-field processing.
The thing that I will disagree with EM.
I don't think anyone's gonna question his toughness after coming back 2 weeks after tightrope surgeries. He wanted to remember last year he missed the game with the thumb, but he wanted to play through the thumb injury, but it was on his throwing hand, so Flores shut him down. Now he has multiple fractured ribs, and it's on his throwing side. Like, you don't play like that. You don't really play with that, man. It's going to be a lot of discomfort.
Did I
call him a pussy or something, or what? Did I say he wasn't tough?
No. But the one thing I will disagree with him is that physically, I don't agree. I do think that we've seen him grow substantially physically. Does that translate necessarily, like you said, to the mental aspect? No. But I do not agree that we have not seen physical improvement. I've seen it in his explosiveness and taking off. He's there.
Show me, please enlighten me on what game.
But that doesn't change
what we've seen this
the
year.
mental aspect. For example, I'll give you two examples off the top of my head. So, in week 1, at the very end of the game, and we had that bootleg out to Tua on that first down when we were at the 8 or 7 or 8 yard line, something like that. So we ran that first naked boot for him. Granted, his slide was absolutely terrible. However, him turning his hips, resetting, and taking off the way he did was
about that
much.
play when it was called back.
It may have been called back. I don't. Yes, it was. Yeah. So what I'm saying is physically, I have seen the improvement. Do I think that he has a stronger arm than he did before? No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm saying overall, physically, I think we've seen a lot of improvement from him.
Well, let me clarify. I'll say this in terms of I think he's,
and we did, even in training camp, we noticed more zip on the football.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it. But I'm not seeing it now. I'm not seeing it now. And we talked about this the other day.
On the slant Parker.
No, you're seeing it. You're seeing it on the short to intermediate levels. You're not seeing it deep, is what you said.
Right. Exactly.
And we talked about that. He puts a little too much arc when he's trying, and that's all coming down to touch. He's putting a little too much arc under his football. But here's exactly what Omar Kelly said today, because instead of me paraphrasing, I can show you exactly what he said. So someone asked him, do you think Tua is seeing the whole field? Looks like at times guys are open. He's not seeing them. Tua has looked amazing from a read the field standpoint all camp. He needs his O-line to protect him better. Simple as that. Miami's O-line has played like shit. No debating that. And this isn't a surprise.
Well, I disagree, bro.
On facts.
I disagree with that.
Well, you remember when the reports are coming out of him shredding before X came back, of him shredding our secondary. And then you look in his preseason games. I said this to you, and I said it tonight. We were in a more progression-based offense, and they sprinkled in the RPO. All of a sudden, they flipped the script when the season started, and they're like, heavy RPO, sprinkle in read options, sprinkle in some progressions. And this kid, it's just like, what's the argument for Noah Benogany getting better as a corner, right? You need more reps. You need more reps. Tua needs just go to a full progression-based offense and let him have the year to get the reps and see what you have by the end of the year.
He needs to
reps when his line is getting him freaking hurt.
You're right. I'm just saying, EM, is there's multiple factors that I'm seeing that I agree with you. Tua's not where we thought he'd be, but I can also sit back and say, when we started this channel, we always said we didn't want people just getting face value answered. We wanted to tell everyone the context. And when you take a step back and look at the context of everything, it's the issue is, yes, obviously, definitely, there's no one will question it. Some is on him because to an extent you control your own destiny.
Right.
But as a kid coming from the SEC, taking that leap, your NFL team and the coaching staff need to do certain things to help that transition in that process. And that's why you always say, right? It doesn't matter about where you get picked. It's about the situation you get picked into.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the coaching and the offensive line have failed him.
You know what we're seeing? EM, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing Flores' ineptness to get the offensive side of the football right. It's stunting the growth of our offensive linemen. It's stunting the growth of our quarterback, and it's not even letting them take the handcuffs off Myles Gaskin, who's a kid they're developing as well, and he's showing. Give me more carries. I'm getting over 5.5 yards, and they're not even saying, you know what? Let's run the ball 25, 30 times.
Yeah.
What the fuck do we have to lose? And know me, bro. When they named Studesville as one of the offensive coordinators, I said to EM, we're finally going to get a commitment to the run. And he carried the ball 5 times last game. That's inexcusable, bro. Even when you're losing, you run the ball.
Yeah, the coaching staff and the offensive line are major factors that cannot be discounted at all. I mean,
it's like we talked backstage the other day,
and no one is doing that. I never discounted the
I think though, EM. Real quick.
And just so everyone knows, EM, I've talked to EM. EM, from everything I just laid out, EM basically, for the most part, agrees with me. So it's just there's levels involved in this. Tua's a level, and he's got to take responsibility. The coaching staff has to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
Other players on the offense
everything.
But Tua is not without blame, is what I'm trying to say.
But the problem is the biggest problem I have with these idiots is that they don't hold him accountable. They blame everybody under the sun but Tua. And y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to it's ridiculous.
It's got to be full picture. It's got to be full picture no matter what.
You know what? Like I'm telling you, you know what the thing is too, and I'm not saying you. I'm talking about like these other people because you've been on record and saying I'm willing to. It's only Watson, but we're 11 games in, and I'm
absolutely
still. You've never said I'm out on Tua. He's a bust.
No,
the people who are out here calling him a bust, dude. You want to know how much coaching and situation matters? Drew Brees as a Charger, Drew Brees as a New Orleans Saint.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Sam Darnold as a Jet, Sam Darnold as the Carolina Panther.
The narrative I don't like that's came out is the fact that you have to be a scrambling quarterback to make it in this league. That's the narrative that I don't like that's came out.
Tom Brady.
So why is Mac Jones? So why does it look like? Why does it look like the New England Patriots are about to find another immobile pocket passer?
Well, that's what
because they're scheming to him. They're making it easy for him.
That's what I'm saying, though.
I know. That's the whole point.
are putting him in a position of
Yeah.
dude. Did you you guys saw? Look at. Did you notice they're blocking against their second level blocking against us? The 5 plays I showed you. You see how cleanly they get to the second level? Everybody squares up. No one's sloppy, and they just wipe out second levels like that.
That's one of the. This is one of the flaws that I have.
But we get that 1 of 8 plays. That's the issue.
That's the issue. It's not consistent.
Well, go ahead, Pyro. Go ahead, Pyro. Who's going to ask me?
Nah,
I just want to know your reaction to our offensive line coach saying Tristan Wirth as a guard. I literally want to know your input on that.
I have no response to that, bro. We talked about that at length the other day. I think I'm gonna leave it there, bro. I have no response to that.
And look, I mean, no thoughts on that either, but it does spark the thought that he is the 4th offensive line coach.
Yeah, and he won't be the last either.
And you see what I'm saying? We are definitely going to be on number 5 next year, which is
maybe even halfway through the season.
I don't even think we're making
the
it
only thing that's consistent about the offensive line.
Yeah, it might even be halfway through the season.
If we don't see something drastic this week, I think there's changes coming.
I am literally anxious about this game. I'm not excited. I'm not like, oh man, we're definitely going to lose. Like, you see what I'm saying? I'm not down to the dumps. It's like I just have no fucking idea what the hell they're gonna do. It's like I cannot put my finger on these dudes, man. And
I got an idea.
Right
I got an idea too.
This is
getting your ass whooped.
Yeah,
that's my idea of what's gonna happen.
I expected a loss against the Bills, but I wanted us to put up a fight. You know what I'm saying? I wanted us to lose by less than a touchdown. I did not expect us to beat the Bills. You see what I'm saying? But this one, you see what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
I just don't think that we like I said earlier, if Jacoby can't come out and perform and extend drives, it's a blowout easily. It's a blowout easily because I don't think this defense can handle. I don't think the defense can handle it again. You can't keep asking them to play, 36, 38 minutes of defense. That's not doable. Yeah, sustainable is the word I was going to
It's not sustainable by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. And look, I just wanted to say real quick, that's one of my biggest issues with the first round quarterback philosophy. I get it because of the talent, but the problem is oftentimes these teams will take these first round quarterbacks with all this talent and stick them into a system or a scheme or a team that's not built properly around them, and then they end up, flubbing out. But yeah. Real quick, too, I just want to say this. I'm not going to actually give my prediction because I think I'm probably going to surprise some people today. I will say this, though. I agree with pretty much everything that has been said. If you want to check it out, by the way, Dolphins with Dylan, so make sure you check that out. But I agree with pretty much what everybody's been saying, and I think that it could end up being a long day for us.
I know.
But I'm giving them a chance. And I do predict a win. Slim win.
Wow!
But we'll see. They have.
I'm calling a win. I'm calling a win right now.
They have.
Why you say that? No. Wait. EM. So what is your thought philosophy behind this? Because even I am hopeful that Jacoby can perform for us and get us a few wins. I hope, but at the same time, when Reason broke down that film with Ball Game and Martin, and we watched it. There's some very bad tendencies there that I'm afraid of.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Jacoby is what he is, but you got to look at it. The circumstance that he was just thrust into the lineup, and I'm not making excuses, but that's not an ideal situation for your backup quarterback. I don't care who it is. So, but I'm anticipating. I think the Dolphins.
Unless you're Fitzpatrick.
Unless you Fitz. And could we use Fitz right now? For all these fools out here was pushing Fitz out the back door, man. We could use Fitz right now, bro.
He wanted to start,
just
saying. Man. He's not going to stay here.
I also think Fitz would have ripped into that line and fucking played like men.
Maybe he should have.
Fitz would have died behind this.
I agree with that.
That's a whole nother conversation. We don't want to get into Fitz. But anyway.
Yeah, we don't. But I'm just saying there's a difference between Fitzpatrick as a veteran versus, Tua coming in there and saying something like that. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. But I'm hoping they totally philosophically. I hope things change for the Dolphins. I mean, I think they need to go. I said that with Tua. They need to go a heavy run-based approach. I mean, minimum 25 to 30 times a game. I want to see 35 attempts this week. I don't care if you got 35 yards on 35 carries. I want to see the attempts up there. And again, I think because see that your line is already compromised from a pass protection standpoint. The best way to protect any quarterback, the best way to protect any quarterback, whether it's Fitz, whether it's Tua, whether it's Jacoby Brissett, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, is to run the football. And I think these blockers up front are better run blockers than they are pass blockers. So hopefully they lean heavily more on the run and try to establish an identity with this offense, because I think that's the biggest problem in my opinion.
They suck at it all.
And clearly we have an issue, right? So I mean, what else do we have to lose anyway? And with an offense that's only we're out 2 games in, we only put up 17 points so far. So we're averaging 8.5 points a game, right? And I don't know any defense, right? I don't know any defense at all that can hold any other team of 8.5 points. Well, maybe except the Dolphins.
Yeah, and it kills me because, like I said before, I think our biggest issue
week 2, because we 9 games into week 2, because I feel like we haven't. There's no way we could give a fair evaluation to Tua at this point, and I feel like that's why we paid Brissett all this money to be our backup quarterback, was for this situation here, and the insert of Will Fuller if he played that. I feel like that's a big thing. I could call me crazy, but I mean,
it's not going to matter.
I feel like it is because they're going to start double teaming Fuller, and that's going to open up Gesicki, Waddle. No, because they're going to get favorable.
And I agree, but wait, Dylan, I don't want to get off topic or move on. So I wanted to say about the running game real quick, and this is the thing that frustrates the hell out of me, is all of us have been talking about this for how long. So we all know that bringing in that run element opens up the play action, opens up those intermediate long routes. And yes, our offensive line is going to have, trouble giving him the time for the long ones. But it's very frustrating coaching wise to say, what the game plan should be. And that Gaskin has been playing decently. And we talked about it the other night. Oh, no, this is working. So let's not do that anymore. And that's where coaching-wise, it's a battle. It's a mystery.
That is a problem because to me, 2 games, right, against the Patriots, I believe that we got out-coached. I believe clearly against the Bills we got out-coached. So clearly we have a deficiency there right out of the gate.
Yo, Neil Driscoll on our podcast called Flores Sean McDermott's bitch.
Damn, dude.
I agree. Is that
that's a direct quote, bro.
Wow.
Can I stir the pot? Can I stir the pot a little more? Can I stir the pot a little more? Is there maybe possibly a chink to the Brian Flores being a defensive genius armor?
Well, they did good against.
He's made.
They could do. Well, okay. Like coaching decision wise, the way they've been dropping Phillips back and they've had him cover some slot corners. They're not putting his hands in the dirt and letting him get comfortable. Like I've said all along, even during
even investing in Jerome Baker the way they did, right? Like,
but I will give him credit. He figured out Josh Allen last weekend. Josh Allen did.
He did. Jerome Baker to me is his biggest blunder.
And the run defense.
Yeah.
Don't get him and
letting McKinney go.
Wilkins, I mean, look, man. I mean, he is pretty much non-existent every single game, even dating back to last year. It's like he's just there.
He's reached his ceiling, man.
Yeah, so not to kind of like a hard left.
That's a $10 million linebacker.
He's flirting with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's better. He's better at jumping over people. He's
He's
better
$8
at
million
jumping over
linebacker,
people
bro.
than he is at creating pressure.
No, the only thing that Baker is good at is occasionally providing pressure.
He's not the ball
But
blitzing linebacker. That's what he is.
Yeah, and I was talking about Wilkins.
Right.
he occasionally on the flat routes can run it out. But run wise, he gives you nothing. Pass coverage beyond the quick outs and whatever behind the line, he gives you nothing. But no, let's fucking glorify him. Come on.
That thing's 10. And this is the funny thing too. We're not even using him the way that we used him last year, right? Because I think he's better as a blitzing linebacker. Right?
He's an off the ball blitzing linebacker. That's his best usage.
They're clearly trying to add more on his plate. They're trying to add more on his plate. And they want him to assume complete responsibility.
Remember they started that last.
Yeah, they started last year and quickly
away
abandoned it. And quickly abandoned it.
Yeah, by the Jaguar game, they totally abandoned it.
And see, I don't understand. What is he showing Flores in practice to warrant this type of, responsibility?
Nothing, bro. Like I said, that's why
I think he's a
yes, man.
I have to think he's showing them a lot in the film in the study room, and then it's just not totally translating.
I mean, but they should be able to know and understand that, though. Like they should be able to recognize.
What the hell is that?
Yeah. They should be able to recognize that. That's their job. Like, like you should be able to see. I mean, we all see it. We all see it. I don't care. I mean, I do care that he puts in the work in the film room, but it doesn't matter if it's clearly not translating.
It's not translating to the
video. And if every time you go back to the film, it's the same shit over and over and over again, well,
that's what's happening with Noah Monogany. Apparently, Noah Monogany is really good in team meetings, really good in positional unit meetings, really good in the film room.
Noah's
it's not translating on the field.
Yeah,
Look, I think both of them, just the same way Austin Jackson, it's not translating physically because they're not putting in the work, and this just is my opinion.
Yeah, but what bugs me?
I agree.
You know what the biggest kick in the nuts about Austin Jackson is? And you can go back and watch me and Ball Games breakdowns last year of the All-22. I hate when he gets beat, he automatically just gives up and walks back to the play. Like, I absolutely despise his effort a lot of the time. Like, I think he's lazy. And I think that's why, and I don't think he's got a dog in him. And I do see, and as much as I hate him, I do know coaching plays a big role in where he's at developmental wise right now. Yeah. And they've had that carousel on the offensive line, coaching wise. And I'm not going to go over it all over again because I've just been spewing about it. But I mean, that's where the issue is right now. That's one of the thing is, at least I know Tua's trying to get better and putting in the work. Austin Jackson and Solomon Kinley, especially Solomon Kinley, I don't know they're putting
Devontae Parker and Preston Williams.
They're clear,
and that's where I was trying to make my point real quick again. The thing
Kinley,
is
I don't know. Kinley seems like Kinley's not putting any work. He's just going to the Dairy Queen.
But my whole thing is, so I want to say this. So Devontae Parker, he's had hamstring issues for quite some time. So my thing is you can do isometric contraction. You can do all kinds of workouts that prevent hamstring pulls. And there are things, again, with Austin Jackson. Okay, I'm panicking. I don't have the strength, but I rely on my athleticism. He hasn't gone in the weight room and worked out over the summer. He hasn't gotten physically stronger. The same exact thing with Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker can't shed blocks. He can't set the edge. He always continue. But again, how do you rectify that? Okay, I'm a little undersized. That's okay. Zach Thomas made it work for him. But if you know that you can't shed blocks, you need to start working on shedding blocks, and you need to work on getting stronger so that when you apply those techniques of getting off the block, you have the strength to do it. And that's where it tells me, and including Austin Jackson and his repertoire of saying, okay, I know I'm getting beat across the face. I gotta, do this to improve. He didn't do any of that. None of them have. And that's where I don't think it's a mental thing. I don't think it's I don't understand it. I gotta, develop into it. No, it's that you don't, as a professional, have the wherewithal to say, I'm gonna put in the work physically. That's where I feel this team suffers. And I think that is hugely on the coaches too, because you need to be motivating these young men to go out and do that work.
It's on both.
And I don't see it. I don't.
I think it goes. I think it goes both ways.
It's on both of them for sure. It's on both sides. I mean, everybody has a part to play in that, so they all have to be accountable. But I mean, I agree. It's not there. We're just not seeing it.
With all these problems, I just there's a lot of people advocating for Watson and saying we're going to be that team. But with all these other problems, how does one player fix it?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Well,
a lot of people think so. So that's why I'm asking.
I think. I'm not saying if we get Deshaun Watson, we'll be immediate Super Bowl contenders. But with this roster presently constructed, if you insert him as your quarterback, there's no way in the world you can convince me we're not minimum a playoff team, first round playoff team.
And I agree, but it was also we brought in the conversation earlier.
The line is
I don't think that this year is going to be that year. And then we're saying we're going to bank on a second year. Well, we also have an extra $30 million plus what's on top of our cap rolled over from this year. Do you still think that we're going to go out and make those veteran signings that we failed to do this year? And at the same time, again, we got Ogba, all these people, wide receivers, the whole 9 yards. Are we still going to be able to field a good enough team for Deshaun Watson to be successful next year, knowing that he has such a high cap hit for us? No. I don't know about that.
And another rebuttal to that is look at our defense right now. It looks like it's regressing. Our linebackers are not progressing, and we got all this tape last year.
There's the D
on
line.
them. That's what I'm saying. And the D line's still in the same spot last year. Everybody's going to know their flaws and they're going to attack it, which they've already have. So we're not progressing as a team. So how does Watson fix it? I don't see
Watson again, he's not compromised like a player like Tua is right now. From a mental standpoint, from a mental standpoint or a physical standpoint, where Tua struggles with blitzing, first off, identifying pressure, where he's not consistent enough and he's weak in these other areas in terms of identifying pressure, sliding the lines, audibling in and out of plays. Watson is doing that on an all-pro level right now. So you're not compromised in that area. Second, that's A. This is B. When there is leakage up front, Watson laughs at pressure, easily gets in and out of trouble with ease, where he can extend plays and he's got the arm strength to where he does extend the play and gets out of the pocket, resets, reestablishes his launch point. When he does that, all three levels are still in play. Tua cannot do that. And I don't think Tua will ever be able to do that because he's not the athlete this kid is.
I agree that Tua cannot do that.
So with that being said,
no one's arguing that.
So with that being said, the offense will pick. You saw Fitzpatrick do it, and we can all agree that Watson is 3 times the player that Fitz is. So at the end of the day, okay, the offense will pick up. The pace of the offense will pick up. Defenses, his ability, his mobility. Defenses have to account for that, and it just impacts how teams scheme us. With Tua, again, I keep telling y'all, and again, I'm just going by what I am seeing on tape. A compromised physical player and a compromised mental player. Mentally.
You're making this about a comparison. Hold on a sec.
You want to say mental? I'll say
Hold on a sec.
I wasn't done yet.
But you're making this a player comparison when they're not asking that. They're asking about Watson in this situation with everything around him. Tua doesn't need to be part of this situation. This conversation.
No. What I'm saying, I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to finish. Okay. So what I'm saying is why I brought Tua into the equation is because when you have those deficiencies, it's easier for teams to scheme on you. You know what I'm saying? The scheme. Watson just makes in terms of Logan's question about how does Watson fix the offense.
Yeah, but their scheme. A lot of the stuff that they're doing is they're doing stuff against our offensive line because they know they're not. Our line can't even pick up stunts. That's not on the quarterback. That's what. They're scheming against our offensive line, not just Tua here. He's part. They're they're just as much as part of the equation right now as Tua is. They're giving them stuff that they know they're not going to be able to answer right now.
Right. They have the tape from last year. No one's progressing.
And we don't have a Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, no one's progressing on this team.
Austin Jackson becomes his blind. Not just Austin Jackson becomes his blindside protector.
Yeah, he would end up physically compromised too.
He would end up physically. No,
he would,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
First off, he won. See it to believe it, because if they trade for him, you will.
First off, he won a division twice with Julian Davenport as his left tackle. Okay,
yeah, but not last year, bro. Like last year.
He's been sacked a ton, and what happened when he got sacked?
I think Austin Jackson is going to get
Too many people are talking like Jesus Christ, one at a time. Now, to add to that situation, though, in his second year in the NFL, I'm pretty sure he got sacked like 62 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And what happened is his knees, right?
Yeah,
towards ACL.
Injured.
So.
But that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, like this. Everybody has tape on our line.
Like, here's the thing: you want to know the reality?
Why did Ryan
Fitzpatrick hold on? Fixing
why did Fitz make it work?
Okay, I can kind of answer that a little bit. Last year, year one, he was just like playing for like Jesus Christ. The guy was making magic out of nothing, but he only won 5 games. Right. So I mean, so if you add Watson, if you add Watson, we win probably 7 or 8 that year. I'll add 2 or 3 on top for Watson. Last year, it was literally this is what I brought up when everyone was bringing up about Tua knowing the playbook and stuff. If you look at Fitzpatrick last year, because of Fitzpatrick's knowledge of the offensive line, of the offense he was playing in. And you look at it, even Omar said, and I agree with him to an extent. I don't think he's like the third best, but I think he's like top 10. When you look at Fitzpatrick, he's top 5, top 10 pre-snap read guys. You know what I mean? He said, even he said only Brady and guys like Brady and Rodgers are better than him. Hold on, I know. Hold on. So when you know the offense like the back of your hand. When you go back and you watch Fitzpatrick, he was checking and alerting and audibling a ton out of Gailey's original calls last year because he knew the offense so comfortable. So that's like Gailey walking to the line. That's like Gailey making the call before they come out of the huddle. Get to the huddle, and that's like Gailey now being at the offensive line and seeing what they're showing him.
Yeah.
And knowing based off of what he's seeing, okay, if I use this, I can beat the da-da-da-da-da. That's just all pre-snap deciphering, okay? That's all that comes down to.
So Watson hadn't exhibited that ability to do that?
Not okay, but here's what the key point is. First of all, he did that, the first half you mentioned of him being where he is at mentally, compared to, if we want to go compared to Tua, that's the difference between Bill O'Brien being the offensive guru you learn under, as opposed to Chan Gailey, Chris Godsey, and Eric Studesville.
That's legit. That's legit.
But anyways, beyond that, what I said about Fitzpatrick last year was the key point is knowing the offensive playbook. That's why he was able to be so successful with this offense, because he knew what to check and what to audible. Deshaun Watson hasn't had a full offseason to soak in and be a sponge with the playbook. Different terminology, different concepts, et cetera, et cetera. So he's going to come in here. Now, next year is a different story. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's going to be here this year.
But that's what we were talking about. What does the team look like next year?
Well, there's more to it too, though.
I'm of the mindset. I'm coming from the perspective.
But I'm just saying that's why Fitz was able to have the success he was able to have in this offense last year. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's next year, I'm cool with it. But
it's the same thing.
We also
but it's the same thing of saying wait. But it's the same thing of saying that okay, we're still waiting on this offensive line, to deal with its issues. and everything else. So we can just write off this year because, yeah, he may win us a few games, but he's not getting us to a Super Bowl. So now we're saying, okay, this year's a wash. Where are we going next year? And that's where, with the team, with the cap, the players that are coming up, I don't know if we're going to be able to, again, the whole point of this is being a quote-unquote sustainable winner. I don't think we're sustainable.
The problem Chris, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's actually what's at the root of your problem. When you're gonna come up to paying that quarterback, see, you try to win when you're on that rookie quarterback deal, right? Because when you come on to that $40 million, now I got to pay you deal, you can't spend to fill holes as luxurious enough as you just were. So that's when drafting becomes even that much more important when that 40 million. And they've already shown, and I'm saying because I'll say it again, Barry Jackson came out and said, for all of you giving grief to Chris Greer, you need to give just as much grief to Brian Flores because he has just as much say in personnel decisions, and even sometimes, which shocked me, Chris Greer defers to him. So that tells me that they're gonna bring in Watson. They're not gonna be able to solve the offensive line. This guy's gonna be running through his life. Whereas if we had competent staff in front of him that could fix that offensive line, one of two things could happen. We could actually get proper development and, well, somewhat proper development because it still matters on the coaching staff you put around, but somewhat proper development, but at least a better evaluation on what Tua could be with that offensive line. Or if you go with Watson, if you give Watson a legitimate top 15, you don't even need a top 10, top 5 line. If you give him top 10 to top 15, you can make that Super Bowl run. But what that's telling me is they don't have, I don't even trust them in free agency to spend our money. They just had Jermaine Illuminor. They let him walk out the door, and here we are having to shift Kinley. Here we are. Jesse Davis didn't even get to compete with Illuminor when Illuminor was the right tackle.
And we got rid of McKinney.
Jermaine Illuminor is the second highest graded interior offensive lineman by PFF right now.
But also, it says that 2 games in a row, McKinney killed the loss of McKinney killed us 2 games in a row because they came out and ran the ball and scored quick touchdowns.
You know what,
2 games in a row.
If you go get me Watson, I expect a Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years.
The tone.
I expect a Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years, and I don't have faith that they're going to do the right by him and surround him with enough. And they're going to spend all that money and capital.
So you have that much. You have that much. You have such little faith in them to support. And surround Tua, right? And draft appropriately, right?
Again.
They've proven they. Damn, I'm getting a lot of feedback, bro.
Yeah, so was I think it's Florida born. Anyway, go ahead.
So according to in mine as well, we don't have faith in them, draft, especially at the top of the draft. Yeah. So why not? They've proven, okay, well, let's abandon that approach because they haven't been successful at doing it. So why not get that surplus of resources that you have and trade them for the closest sure thing?
But you're not understanding, but you're missing it. I'm saying even if you get Watson, I don't trust this regime, to surround him with the stuff he's going to need to win because I expect a Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years. I don't think they're like years ago. What I'm saying, Deshaun Watson with this bad offensive line right now is a playoff contender. Okay. Deshaun Watson, if you are able to produce a top 10, top 15 offensive line, can actually contend for that Super Bowl. What I'm saying is now you're going to he goes up to $40 million next year. Drafting is going to become that much more important. I mean, look at Mitchell Schwartz and Lucas Niang. They drafted Lucas Niang a year early because they knew they weren't going to be able to pitch Mitchell Schwartz because Mahomes' money was coming up and all these guys they had to pay. And look at what happened. So, I don't trust these guys. And with Flores having as much personnel say as that's being told, I don't trust either one of those. I think they're going to give up all these assets. I think they're gonna give up all these assets, and they're gonna, buddy, Wilkins will be lucky to see his option year. Okay, if you look at our offensive line, hold on. On our offensive line right now, they've spent a first on Austin Jackson, a second on Robert Hunt, a third and a second on Eichenberg, a third on Dieter, and Jesse Davis was brought in, right? Okay, and then a fourth on Solomon Kinley. Okay, they've spent all those resources, and guess what? Here's the reality of the situation, EM. Robert Hunt is the only one who would be competing for a starting job on any other team. All the rest of these guys would be competing for the second spot at the position on a depth chart in training camp.
Yeah, I would agree.
What all of a sudden makes me believe, now I'm going to trust them when they've got an even more prized asset who could be worth 3 first rounds and seconds, plus an extra first if you ship out Tua, because that's how much you've spent on the position to get it right in 3 years. How am I going to, if they can't get it right for 1 draft pick who's a 5th overall, what are they going to do with a guy who's 4 draft picks and 2 second rounders? Because this comes down to evaluation and the fundamentals, their philosophies of scouting and drafting are not very good, bro.
Yeah,
listen. You will not get any pushback from me in that regard. But
that's what I'm saying. I feel like you're going to give up all these assets, and we're going to all love Watson and be like, yo, we got a chance to win every Sunday with this guy, but it's going to be Marino. It's going to be Marino all over again, but instead of not having a run game and a defense, it's going to be like, you just, because you know what I've said, bro, if they've had this attitude with Tua, here you go, young boy. Go out there and go get it with what they're working with. What are they going to say to an established vet who almost threw for 5,000 yards last year with what he had around him? They're going to say, "Oh, we can keep spending resources on our defense. We don't need to stack up on you because you're a game beater. You're a world breaker, bro."
Yeah, and listen. Here's the thing. There's two quick things. One,
hopefully it'll be quick, Dylan. Go ahead.
If you give up, I mean, I haven't said anything in a minute, so just saying. But like, if they give up all those future resources, that means that they will then have to rely on the past resources, right? Totally on the past resources, because then they won't have any in the future. They just gave it all up. And those past resources are looking pretty terrible. That's the first thing. The second thing is when it goes back to the offensive line and why Fitzpatrick could, in addition to the things that were already said, we also didn't have to face the kind of pass rush that we had to in the first 2 weeks last year. Most of last year, even when we got to good teams like the 49ers who have it, they were hurt. So we didn't have to face the kind of pass rush that we have now. Plus, we played
Buffalo and New England in the first 2 games. We played the exact same teams. What are you talking about?
That's what's crazy. When you actually put them up, Tua statistically and on the field kind of outperformed Fitzpatrick in week 1 last year.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that is true.
I'll give you that.
We played those 2 teams, but look at their defenses. First of all, their pass rush, the Bills.
They're depleted because of
their pass rush, the Bills last year was their weakness.
Didn't have Epinesa, and Epinesa wasn't where he's at right now, and all that.
So
then he's right, because New England. Look at how many guys they had opt out. Like
and how much they've added this.
They didn't have Judon. They didn't have Judon last.
You're right. I get that.
Not the same. Not the same.
I get
that.
You're right.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that the offensive line, as bad as it was last year, is getting worse.
But we talked about this backstage.
And look at the pass rush. Hold on, I'll let Dylan finish. All I want to do is add on, because he's not done. I can tell he's not done, and then you can go CT. And now they got a pass rush they got to deal with in Las Vegas.
Can I go after CT?
Fucking good. Yeah, you can. Go ahead, Dylan. Go.
Yeah, so that's the thing is it's what I get Watson on those different levels, and I agree with a lot of that. But I'm telling you, man, like he can't have an offensive line that's completely Swiss cheese, bro. Like I don't care who you are.
So obviously Tua can't, right?
No.
So it applies to every.
This is what y'all are not. This is another issue I have.
Look at Mahomes in the Super Bowl, right? Look at Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
It applies to every quarterback.
Here's another issue that I have in terms of the evaluation of Tua. Okay, y'all are so convinced that this kid is going to turn out to be a baller in this league. Y'all are convinced of it, right?
I don't know yet.
You're not. No, I'm not. No. Hang on. We got stick in line, but yeah. Hang on. Y'all have to. You have to. You know, there's a flip side to that coin. You have to consider the fact that Tua might not be that guy. But that's
not, dude.
Yeah.
But that's not the issue. What we're saying is, you gotta understand. What we're saying is, if he had certain things around him, and we were seeing what we're seeing right now, you probably have a lot more on your train now.
But this is my point, bro. This is my point. Y'all are saying, because y'all are poo-pooing the Watson narrative, y'all keep saying, well, we won't have this. We can't support him this way. We can't support him that way.
We can't even support a rookie, right?
Okay. But what if you keep Tua, right? And you find out, you to this point, you've proven you can't properly support him, right? In terms of an O-line. What if Tua turns out to be not the guy? And you had an opportunity, at least with Watson, you know what you're getting. I'm not saying he's a finished product, but at least you know what you're getting. He's a clearly upgrade in every single way. But I just think y'all are so convinced.
Dude, I've said from the beginning, if you can get him. No. I've said from the beginning, if you can get him for a fair asking price and not be taken to the woodshed, make the trade because he's a clear upgrade. I've never questioned that. What I'm saying now is you're going to get this kid killed because you haven't been able to prepare this team. If you can't if you've had all these resources at your disposal financially and draft wise to get it right and at least surround a rookie quarterback, I feel like you're not going to have and put as much effort into surrounding that into a veteran like this because he's already proven he can throw 4,800 yards. And even if you do put the resources in, I don't trust you to make the right decisions because there's multiple decisions I can point out to the draft and free agency that you have not got right.
And not only that, but what I'm saying is, again, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna be catastrophic is that if they stick with Tua and he don't turn out to be the guy, that is going to be earth shattering.
Yeah, but just like I was trying to say, and I get keep cutting off.
At least with an established player like Watson, nobody's saying he's going to solve every riddle. He's going to solve everything, but at least you know what he is as a player, and that gives you a fighting chance. We don't have that with Tua. We don't have that in-house right now.
I agree.
Yeah, but I get that. But it goes back to what I was trying to say, and even the reason, said it earlier this offseason. My thing is so irregardless, if you are banking on the development of Tua long-term, even if he doesn't turn out, even if he doesn't, and even if we trade for Deshaun Watson and he is what he is, and we don't, God forbid, we don't have any issues with him, but it still doesn't change the fact that the coaching strategy or the drafting philosophy should be, I don't give a fuck who my quarterback is. I want to give them a solid offensive line. And even if Tua doesn't work out, I can plug and play somewhere else. And that's where I have the issue is I'd rather have a solid offensive line, let Tua, even if he doesn't, hey, it's highly likely he doesn't. That's okay.
We're basically saying
get the solid offensive line.
We're basically saying get the solid offensive line, whether you got the rookie back there or you trade for Watson and put him back.
I agree, and I'm not saying
and it's hard to get a solid offensive line.
I am not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, I just think with a player that has, that physical skill set, bro, you don't have to make the line perfect around him like you would a player like this.
Nah, but the bullshit that we have isn't good enough.
Yeah, I would agree.
You do need you do need
idiots in the comments. Oh my God, bro.
You need to be on your way to a decent offensive line because, like I said, if O-line didn't matter, they wouldn't have traded for Larry Tunsil.
Right.
They would have kept Julian Davenport there.
No. And I explained that to you. Hang on. I explained that to you. That was to propel them to a Super Bowl run.
Which is what I just said. That's what my whole point was. My whole point was right. What was my whole point with this offensive line? Maybe we sniffed the playoffs in the first round, but if you give them a top 15, top 10 offensive line, we can make a legitimate Super Bowl run. But I don't trust this regime to build that offensive line in front of him. That's what I'm saying.
Based off of the current body of work.
I will take. I told you I might be in a minority here. Yeah. I might be in a minority here, but I will take from what we have, what we have been dealing with for the last 15 to 20 years, I will take playing wild card weekend and getting bounced out in the first round, considering what we've been through. I will take that all
day.
I
agree with that, but at the same time,
you know what's crazy though, EM? That'll be cool for the first year or two, but come year 3, you're gonna be like, yo, I need some fucking results here, bro.
That's where I was getting.
Agree, but damn, y'all act like we've been the Patriots dynasty for 20 years.
Hold on. People act like, at the same sense, people out here like we're some quarterback factory and the authority on quarterback play, and we're the end-all be-all on quarterback when we're the same ones that have been begging for a quarterback for 20 fucking years, bro.
And the problem,
and it's the same. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just real quick. The problem again is because yes, maybe over the next year or two, Deshaun Watson can get us to the playoffs, but they've already the foundation currently is already rotten, both when it comes to things like the offensive line and coaching and organizational philosophies. So then if you get rid of, all that future draft capital, which with which you would normally build your foundation, and then also destroy that large amount of cap we have by having to take on that massive number, you then chokehold yourself into not being able to build up the proper foundation around the guy to then propel you in 2 or 3 years to a Super Bowl contending team.
Guys,
do you get what I'm saying?
Can I say something real quick? I know I don't frequent the platform as much as I used to, but I'm really surprised about how dumbed down your comments set. A lot of these individuals in the comments section are, bro. The last time when I used to frequent the platform, bro, I always prided, inside the NFL to having the more educated, at least people the more educated individuals in the comments. But it's a lot of ignorant, foolish, dumb individuals in the comments. But anyway, you know who you are. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Hey guys, let me please input something that I've been having on my chest for a while, bro, and I appreciate y'all, everybody. So the issue I have is this, bro. 3 years ago, bro, we gave everything away, bro, to start a process, man. Supposedly we had a plan. It was Tua, bro. It was Tua the entire time, man. So knowing all of this, bro, okay, his injury, bro, his size, whatever, bro. So we were supposed to have a plan. Where is this plan, bro? Watson wasn't our plan, my man. I mean, this is just a desperate act, bro, to get something right, because we missed on 3 high draft picks, man, including Tua, if he doesn't end up panning out, which I'm not calling, because for me, Tua has the talent, bro, to be a good quarterback, man, and probably, I'm not going to call him elite, bro, to be the guy. But the fact is that we rushed him in way too quickly last season, bro. I understand fans wanting to see him because we were seeing Herbert doing this and that. We were seeing Joe Burrow get off to a good start. I understand the fans, but I do not understand our upper management, the guys upstairs calling the big shots, wanting him in also to see what we got in him, knowing that he's getting off of a major injury, bro. Knowing that the whatever offense we're running is not for him to excel on. It was made for another guy who was just filling his place while he gets cured, while he gets recovered, while we get everything settled. So it honestly ain't his fault, bro. I know he hasn't been looking good. I agree, bro. I'm to the point where I don't care anymore. If it is Watson, if it's Tua, if it's Mahomes, I don't care anymore, bro. The thing is, I am really upset with how the upper management has been working, where we gave up everything 3 years ago, bro, and we're willing to do it again because we still haven't been able to hit.
Dude, do you realize?
And that's
what I was
we traded Minka Fitzpatrick for Austin Jackson.
All pro.
Yeah, and my thing is just like we talked about the other day too. Is my thing is, and earlier is, the whole issue was we were supposed to be building a sustained winner. And the way that I look at this roster, the way that I look at this organization, we are not even close.
Right.
And it feels like the same old Dolphin bullshit.
Exactly.
And that's what fucking makes me livid.
Tannehill, we're going to redo it again, bro. And we were supposed to get out of it to get into something new. And we're saying this, we're seeing the same old stupid mistakes.
And we're only 2
Well, and here's the thing. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to tell you this right now. Watson's a desperation move by the front office to gain themselves more self-love.
Exactly. To hit on
and it's
something
them
because
trying
they
to save
missed on
face.
everything completely, bro.
Flores is officially
That's a
going to be on the hot
desperation
seat.
move, bro.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, EM. Pleasure to meet you.
What's going on?
Not much.
Nice to meet you too, dog.
Shut your ass up. Anyway, I'm just a firm believer. I mean, if the Dolphins go get Watson, fine. I don't care. I truly believe if Tua goes to a better team and balls out, I won't be surprised. Because I mean, we could have said the same thing about Sam Darnold. Everybody thought Sam Darnold was trash, and look what he's doing with the Carolina Panthers. When you finally got a team that knows what they're doing.
Same thing with
Yeah. So I'm just EM may not agree, but I just believe every quarterback needs an offensive line to show what they can do. I could understand if Tua had the offensive line, say he had like a above average top 20 offensive line, and he was still missing players, still wasn't able to identify blitzes or accurately throw the ball, I would understand that. Then you would get no pushback from me, but that's not the case, in my opinion. That hasn't been the case. They haven't been able to protect him like they need to in order for him to get these passes off. And again, we want to see all the deep balls that we heard about that was being thrown in training camp. It takes time. It also takes time for routes to develop. He can't do that if it's pressure in his face at 1.97 seconds, like in the Buffalo Bills game. That's just what I believe.
That's facts.
With the Raiders game, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I hope y'all squeak out. I hope Miami squeaks out a win. I hope Jacoby Brissett does his thing. Flores wants to, be all secretive with this damn offensive line time, but I ain't gonna tell you what it looked like. I wouldn't be surprised if it's. I wouldn't be surprised if it's still shit. I would not be surprised. I
agreed.
I just don't believe in this offensive line. I don't believe in it. The defense is gonna do its thing. It's just I can understand the defense losing motivation when they have to continuously go out there and try to keep this team in the game, knowing that your offense ain't gonna score no damn points.
Possibly get worn out though too.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. So it's like I hope y'all win.
Especially knowing that the Raiders create organic pass rush.
Y'all.
Organic
you not a
pass rush.
Wait, y'all. You not a Dolphins fan?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
No, I keep it real. I followed to Miami. I never claimed to be a Dolphins fan. I was very happy. I was very happy that Miami drafted him because at first I did believe in this staff. I really did believe they was trying to turn it around because I really wanted them to. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with the decisions they made. And again, like people were saying, yeah, we getting on Chris Greer, but I be getting on Brian Flores too, because it's like some of these players that you are choosing, like again, Chris Greer defers to you to who to pick. And so it's like until I see him being able to take care of the offensive side of the ball, to me, and y'all might disagree, but to me, he's just a defensive coach playing as a head coach until he shows me that he can also take care of the on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, your defense gonna be good. We know that. But if you want to be a head coach, because he gets offended when people don't call him a head coach. But it's like until you show that you can also not leave the offensive side of the ball hanging too, you a defensive coach to me. That's just how I feel.
Exactly. Facts, girl.
But to be honest with you, I don't first off, I don't agree. I don't disagree with anything that you said. When did I ever say that we don't need an offensive line? I never said that. Only thing that I pointed out is what I pointed out. We can all agree a player with the level of mobility that Deshaun Watson has, does that not make things easier? Does that not take pressure off your offensive line?
Yeah, but that's not
sustainable. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
How is it not sustainable? He's done that his whole career.
But he's only had two winning seasons,
And he's also had a bunch of injuries because he's gotten battered. Like, and serious
Yeah, but
injuries
let's put him
too. It's
behind
not
our
just
fucking waterfall offensive line.
No. Listen.
EM, why do you? EM, all those
say
hits.
no.
EM, all those hits. Why do you think you needed all those massages, bro?
Yeah, he would not survive.
Yeah.
He would not survive behind this
Those
offensive
growing
line, bro.
injuries
I
are.
think. Listen. I am not saying this.
Y'all need to
I am not
stop
saying this line does not
withdrawing
need to
yourself
be
serious.
upgraded.
Concussion, but
Listen. I am not saying the line does
No,
not
you're
need
just
to be
saying
upgraded.
Watson with this line
He
can
would-
give us a chance to get in the playoffs.
I don't
He
think
can
so.
take pressure off this line.
He get Deshaun
I know why he
Watson
wanted to turn to Miami.
Texas.
I mean, you see, Kyler
Top of
Murray.
speeches,
Hang
man.
on. Kyler Murray has had pardon my language, Regan, but a shitty offensive line since he came in the league.
Did he go to the
He's
playoffs
making
yet?
it work.
Has he been to the
He
playoffs
ain't
yet?
worried about
he
rugged
hasn't.
tugs.
No.
He ain't
hasn't.
worried about rugged
I know.
tugs, EM.
Hang on.
He wants massages on that Miami beach, man.
He's improving himself.
Russell Wilson has had a shitty offensive line since he's been in
And he
the league.
he threatened the Seattle Seahawks to be traded if they didn't give him players to
Hey, yo,
protect him.
can I say this for 1 second though?
Come on, man.
But hold on. Hold on a
I
sec.
need to look at tape, though,
But
to be
hold on a sec. When Russell Wilson won Super Bowls, they actually had a pretty decent line and they could run the damn ball.
Well, I agree.
But their quarterback wasn't worried about rugged tugs either. He's worried about getting better.
As of late.
Yeah, but what happened to them after that is bad drafting and the contract, so they couldn't spend big time money caught up to them.
Yeah, and also,
but I still want a quarterback who's worried about improving, not rugged tugs.
and if you look at
this line, any line is better, bro.
And
you
Watson
know what I really think if we get Watson.
Watson is in that tier of players.
You know what I really
I think a lot of people look at, people use Herbert and even Burrow as examples of look at what we look at well, we also use the Mahomes one, but let's look at the Burrow and Herbert, Rashawn Slater, right? Filer, the guard from Pittsburgh, and they signed Corey Linsley. You go look at over in what's it called in Cincinnati. They signed Riley Reif. Oh, it was the guard that got him hurt that past year. They went out and they signed a guard, and then they drafted Jackson Carman and kicked him in from tackle to guard. Like, you see the legitimate efforts being made, and the only thing these guys do is, and this is what should piss some people off is okay, you sign Fuller instead of throwing that money at a Corey Linsley, and then, hey, he was my wide receiver 1. You draft Jalen Waddle at 6 when Penei Sewell falls in your lap and could have solved the Austin Jackson thing right away. And then on top of that, even worse, you don't take a Rashawn Slater or a Darrisaw at 18. You don't take, a Sam Cosmi or one of those guys at 36 because they drafted Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland as part of the Xavier Howard's getting out of town tour. With Phillips was to generate more of a pass rush, so they didn't have to hold their coverage as long. And Javon Holland was brought in to make up some of the production that Noah Benogany on the ball. Noah Benogany can't provide you because they expected Noah to take that second-year leap. Noah didn't take the leap. They're stuck with their hands up their ass, and they got to turn around and pay Xavier Howard, and they just spent the 18th and the 36th pick to alleviate the loss of that player.
Right.
So it's like when that could have been to continuously, you could have got a Najee Harris because Myles Gaskin's our best run blocker. Even he's regressed as a run blocker right now.
He's too damn small.
But he's actually, if you go look at him last year under Steve Marshall, he was a better run blocker than what he has been this year. This year, and look at, you got Malcolm Brown not IDing. Like, even the running backs, and Malcolm Brown's supposed to be a decent blocker too. So even the running backs are like taking a step back. And that kind of starts to show me that this is a bigger.
But it's the same way.
Hold on, I'm not done.
We got a number one.
Bro, I'm not done. This shows me this is a bigger issue than Watson or Tua.
It is. Yeah.
Correct.
It is, and that's what I was saying. The whole fact that, again, we have a number 1 first-round pick. Not number 1. He was the first-round pick. Who is a healthy scratch game in, and game out this year. That if that doesn't tell you something, you're blind, buddy.
Who you talking about?
You are fucking blind. With Noah being a first-round pick and being a healthy scratch game in and game out, you're blind. Period. You're blind.
EM, you know when we did our draft day recap, I fucking hated that pick, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, who?
So.
And it looks like there's regression on the defense too. Like that's part of the problem.
Regression everywhere.
Yeah, they didn't upgrade the line. They treated the linebackers like the fucking offensive line. Oh, we don't need. But the thing is, Bernard McKinney is their Jermaine Illuminor over there, and all they did was said, let's roll with the same guys, and 2 games in a row, big explosive running plays out of the gate that set the tone and shit the momentum against it. Like. There's multiple things going on right now.
I really think they should have gave McKinney a chance to at least show what he could do on the field before cutting him. But
listen,
EM would agree with that. I'm sure too.
All of those concerns are valid, but listen, this is Brian Flores regime on schedule. They start slow and they finish fast. So hopefully, let's pump the brakes just a little bit.
Yeah,
okay,
but
but
that's all for coaching.
Here's the thing.
How many years have you been doing that same stupid bullshit?
I thought we could win games with Fitzpatrick. I don't think we can sustain winning games with Jacoby Brissett, dude. Jacoby's not good. Y'all think Tua holds the ball long? You're about to meet the master at work right now.
No one's saying fire Brian Flores. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying stop. I'm also saying stop baby. I'm also saying stop babying this dude because he ain't perfect. God damn it. I'm saying on his neck. You making just as much as a decision as Chris Greer, so therefore the blame falls on you. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all need to be over this honeymoon phase with Brian Flores.
100%. I've been as critical of Brian Flores as anybody in this community.
Get his ass out of here.
What I'm seeing right now, bro.
Get his ass out.
But everybody wants to take the pressure off of Greer. And we defer to Flores most of the time and whatever. I get that. I get it in that aspect. However, it does not change the fact that Greer has been with this team for 15 freaking years. 20. And you're telling me that if your coach is making a stupid decision, you can look at it and go, I can see this player's better than this player, but he's telling me to keep this one. He's telling me to extend Baker. He's telling me to do this. He's telling me to do that.
He's a beta.
When do you say, dude, your decisions are fucking stupid, and I'm going to do what I need to do for the betterment of the team?
He's not going to do that.
That's a GM's job.
Greer already tied himself to Brian Flores' hip.
Yeah, I agree, but
he's not going to do that.
But you get what I'm saying is
they're going to be
that's my thing. I was trying to say
that's actually a good thing. The thing is, you just need the coach's vision and the personnel decisions to be good.
Yeah,
exactly. And Float got it.
They didn't execute properly. Yeah, they didn't execute properly.
Who was inactive, by the way?
Stop it, Irving. Hang on real quick. Stop it, Irving. I didn't unfairly criticize Tua. No, I'm talking to somebody in the chat. I'm talking about Irving. I did not.
No, he didn't say that. He said nobody is babying Tua here. He's just unfairly criticized EM #1 fan because remember back in the day you used to have that guy EM Dolphins #1 fan. He's in the chat right now. Bro.
I know. I see him. I see him. But no, Irving is saying that I unfairly criticized.
No, he didn't say you. He's generally.
He's not saying that.
He's generally.
Okay. I see.
He's not
saying that. He's talking to EM #1 fan and saying.
And look, here's the thing. I really want this to work with Tua, but if it doesn't, then fine.
Yeah.
I know because again, I know what the problem is. It's deeper than quarterback. I really believe it's not a quarterbacking issue.
Correct.
And so it's like if I'm confident. I've been watching the kids since high school, college, and again,
he has what it takes.
I'm not assuming what he would be in the future. But I also know because he got injured behind Bama's O-line, but when he had time, he tore teams' ass up. He did that. So that what makes I don't know what makes people think that won't happen if the Dolphins just fix something that is so simple. Fix the offensive line. That's all you had.
It's not going to happen.
You had all season. He had all
too much
season.
logic and reason.
Think about if we had the offensive line in place right now and Tua is struggling. We'd all be saying, yo, bring Watson because look at what he's going to do behind this offensive line.
I'm the biggest Tua fan. You would get no pushback from me if y'all had a good offensive line. He was being trash. You would get no pushback, none. But I'm not seeing the effort in them doing that. Right. That's the issue.
And also too to the comment
they
about
put in effort, just the wrong kind of effort.
And to the comments about this is a Brian Flores team that just starts off slow. Look, Brian Flores did not do a goddamn thing to get those 5 wins in 2019. I have been very consistent in saying that, and I believe that.
Let him finish. Yeah,
I was also asking the same question, but
let him finish.
Go, Dylan.
So, first of all, I think that those 5 wins came on the back of Ryan Fitzpatrick and his leadership / gunslinger mentality, and because of the fact that the rest of the team, minus like Xavier Howard, Jason Sanders, whatever, was basically nothing but waiver wire guys, perennial backups, practice squatters, guys that weren't even in the league, right? And so they were trying to play for their careers and get the most out of it. That's what they could squeeze out of it, was 5 games. And additionally, though, and really this is the final thing, is there's plenty of evidence throughout the entire season through his personnel usage, play calling, et cetera, that proves that he was trying to tank the season. And in 2019, he even said himself that he has a hand in every single transaction. So by that statement, he had a prominent part into tearing the team down so that way we couldn't even field a competitive roster. But then there's plenty to show that even on game days, he was making sure to the best of his ability that we attained one of the top draft picks. I mean,
the entire fact that we did started to win some games was the entire fact that Tua got hurt and we're going to need to go 16-0 or 0-16, bro. So, yeah, I mean, we did win some games, but thankfully,
I emphatically disagree with that. By the way,
well, that's fine. But that's my evaluation.
I agree with Dylan, but
one of the plays Dylan points to, EM, is that play against the Steelers before the first half ended.
For me, it was obvious that we were tanking.
You mean the Ravens?
Very beginning of the season.
No, the Steelers. The long fucking touchdown.
When they went 0,
to everyone.
Yeah, 0 when there was fucking 65 yards between them and the end zone. That's that's asking for
and
it.
You can't just blame your defensive coordinator either because
you got to consider
he's a defensive head coach and he can veto that and he's supposed to be a genius. So why would you just let that happen? Either he's stupid or he did it on purpose. Flat out. Either you're an idiot for calling such a dumb play, letting them win that game on that fucking score, or you did it on purpose. I'm actually leaning towards he did it on purpose because that was the point of 2019.
Right, it was the tank for Tua. And then since he got hurt, he wasn't going to be the number 1 pick. So obviously we can win some games now, guys. So let's, look.
My theory was always that I think the Dolphins were tanking initially because I want at least the first half of the season. I think the first half of the season because I think they wanted to be not necessarily get the number 1 overall pick, but be well within striking distance. To where they had already amassed tons of draft capital at that point, to where if they wanted to trade up or they had to trade up to 1, 2, or 3, it wouldn't be as expensive as opposed to coming from 13 or 10. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think the second half of the season, I think that is where we saw Brian. Damn, I'm hearing some.
Someone's got a TV in the background.
Yeah. But it was the back half of the season.
Let me finish. He's not done.
But I mean, but the second half of the season, I think we saw what Brian Flores is made up from a coaching standpoint. Because he seemed to settle in. Things seem to stabilize from a personnel grouping standpoint, from a schematic standpoint, and again, you can credit Ryan Fitzpatrick all you want to, but Brian Flores is the one that brought him in. So at the end of the day, I think that man, he did a tremendous coaching job in the second half of 2019, bro.
He also traded Ryan Tannehill and then went and traded for Josh Rosen too. So I mean, so sure he brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick, but
I get it. But again, I wouldn't have made that move. But sometimes you got to kick the tires on players, and if they work out, fine. If they don't, they don't.
In all fairness, Tannehill needed to go because, he wore out his welcome here, man.
Yeah. Don't say that around Dylan. Don't say that around Dylan, boy.
Hold on.
That's
hold
fine.
Tyler, go ahead. You've had your hand up.
Listen, y'all know how I feel about Brian Flores as a person, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But as far as coaching, do I believe he coached his team? Yeah, I just need him to show me that he also cares about the offense side of the ball as much as he cares about his defense, much as he cares about his defense being right. Until he shows me that, then I'm not.
I don't like what I'm seeing right now.
Agreed, especially with the coaching.
I like what I've seen.
I don't even know what I think about the defense.
Because the only thing, the defense through 3 quarters stopped the Buffalo Bills from scoring. So it's not like to me the defense is not bad. The defense is going to keep Miami in the game. Sure. It's just that during the Buffalo Bills game, I was expecting them to at least score a damn field goal. He didn't even give Jason Sanders the opportunity to do that.
He wanted to teach him a lesson.
I don't know why everybody's saying.
Well, that's a dumb coaching lesson because you don't do that.
Our defense hasn't shown us anything this year. What's our defense shown us this year? Everybody's based off of last year.
Defense won us the Patriots game, man.
Our defense, beyond the linebacker core, which we all know has played like shit, but beyond the linebacker core, our defense has played really, really freaking well. But
it's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit deeper. Jamal Holland's better than McCain. You're a little bit deeper up front with guys like Adam Butler and Jenkins.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, they made Josh Allen. They made Josh Allen look. They made Josh Allen look average.
You can't keep weighing on the fucking defense time and again when the offense is not moving the ball. And it didn't happen in the Bills game when Jacoby came in. And that's why it was 35-0. It would have been much better. They had us, like Consenti said, the first 3 quarters, the defense, they gave up the huge run in the first series. But they played really well outside of that. They played but they can't.
They gave up 14. They gave up
doesn't give them no rest.
They gave up the 14 real quick, and then they settled in.
But here's the thing.
Their run defense need to be better.
Well, that's the thing. Exactly. So for the first 2 games of the season, we currently stand at 15th in the league for yards per game. We're currently 8th in the league for passing yards, but rush yards per game we're 28th in the league.
That's
the that's not just it though. Points per game we're 20th in the league, right, at 25.5. For sacks, because we don't have shit for pressure either, we're 30th in the league with just 2 sacks on the season. Now it's obviously only 2 games, but passes defense is good.
Max Crosby has more sacks on the season in 2 games than our team does.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So look, the defense.
Yeah, but it comes down to coaching why we're not getting that pressure. Look at how they're using Jalen Phillips right now.
Yeah, here's the point. Here's the point, though. Here's the point. The defense actually could be really good, even with its weaknesses. But since the offense is so putrid, that the defense is getting tired and worn out.
I agree 100%.
It's still super early in the season, bro. We have 15 more games to play, and they didn't decide to have our bye week until week 14. So we're not going to get shit for rest until fucking week 14.
Exactly.
This defense is not going to be able to hold up, bro.
It's not looking good, bro. It's just not looking good, man.
I guess we should have kept our first round pick, huh?
All right, I want to wrap this up because I'm about to hit 3 hours here. So, let's go through final thoughts here. And first, before we do that, another Logan's popped up. He donates $1.99. He says, I cannot stand the linebacking core. I don't get it. He must be watching the beginning of the video at some point. Cash, let's get your final thoughts.
That freaking segment of why we shouldn't have cut McKinney. You should have labeled that in the freaking thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Cash.
Hopefully make that trade for Jamie Collins. I think he'd be an upgrade.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully he can play better than he has in Detroit.
Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as usual, man, great show, good content, great Dolphin minds, chopping it up and talking about stuff. I definitely appreciate you, touching on the topic with, all of the stuff that's going on with the community as well. You know what I mean? Thank you for having your pulse on stuff like that. And, seeing the need to address it. So I definitely want to, commend you on that as well. All right, so back to the Dolphins, right? So, the more and more we talk, the more and more we go through all of these different scenarios, it's just the more and more we're finding all of these holes. We tore this house down to the studs, right? And we rebuilt it, right? And then we stand back and we look at it and there's a hole in the roof. You know what I mean? The front door is hanging off, so we're looking kind of crazy on the block. Do I believe that, we can, get the friends together and, fix it up? Yeah. But it's not looking good, so bringing me to Sunday, right, which is the game at hand. I don't think it's going to look
Give me score
good.
prediction.
My prediction, I already put it in the chat. I'm going 30-10. I don't think it's going to look good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, stop right there. If I would have said, hold on. If I would have said 30-10 last week, y'all would have said the same thing to me, right?
Yeah.
The Buffalo game.
I had a bad score.
We ain't know Tua was gonna get knocked the hell out.
There you go.
Oh,
you got knocked the fuck out.
So,
knocked the hell out.
Yeah, right. So back to the take. I'm concerned. We're 2 weeks into this, right? I didn't think it was going to be this soon, if at all, because this was supposed to be the season. Again, we tore everything down, and if this is the product that has this whole community up in arms, the national media is looking around and questioning, so we got some issues,
You know what, Cash? It's not the loss. It's not even the way you lost. It's how you lost and who you lost to.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is. That made a lot of people realize. I've been warning everyone that the expectations were real this season, and if we won 6, 7, 8 games, heads would have to roll. That's why I asked Omar that question.
Yep.
I didn't know it would take a loss to a division rival who a lot of people have legitimate deep playoff run hopes with to open it up, but I think it's because a lot of people realize, oh shit, we're where we were last year. We're a pretender. We're not a contender.
Exactly. We are dangerously close with flirting, you know what I mean, with last year being a fluke. We're dangerously close with that was the anomaly.
If they lose this game, then it's possible.
But the Raiders are playing good. Derek Carr's playing MVP caliber football right now without a running game because the offensive line is actually playing decent over there. Other than Leatherwood's had some mishaps and Simpson's allowed some pressures, but other than that, the offensive line's been pretty good. Ruggs looks like he's taking a second-year step. Brian Edwards looks like he's coming out of his shell. Darren Waller gets better every year.
You got Josh Jacobs.
And then look at the defensively. Look at the pressure they're creating right now.
Yeah.
Like they're actually. You know why? Because you know what? People forget about that loss last year. Gus Bradley, when we talked about the Mount Rushmore we talked about Vic Fangio was on it. We talked about Bill Belichick was on it. Gus Bradley is another name that's in contention for being on that Mount Rushmore of defensive minds in the NFL right now.
Yep.
So,
Pyro can't handle that Gase thing. It makes me laugh every time.
Okay, so Pyro, go ahead. Your final thoughts.
Well, I already told you guys I'm in a dark place right now, so I hope we lose.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Put it down, Pyro.
You can't hope we lose, bro.
Oh man, I want Flores fired, bro. I want his ass out of here.
So
if it takes getting swept by the Jets, I want it to happen.
Wow.
Oh, it sounds even funnier.
So
even funnier with your little icon.
You know what?
Let me give you my prediction of the score.
Why you got to bring up the Jets, bro? Because last I checked, Tua won twice against Bill Belichick in his first 10 starts. Zach Wilson in the second start at home put up 4 interceptions on the table.
I ain't giving these rookie quarterbacks no sympathy either. I'm on their damn necks too. Goddamn it!
We got made to look like an absolute joke, bro. Like
I'm going in on every rookie quarterback.
I don't want to say. You know what?
Interceptions.
You know what, EM? You know what should give? Hold on. EM, you know what should actually give us hope about our evaluation of us being right about Tua?
What's that?
In 2019, me and you were warning everyone about Trevor Lawrence. And look at what he's showing right now. He's thrown as many interceptions in 2 games as Tua's thrown in 11.
He's having a lot more time to get rid of the ball, bro.
Yeah. I said that.
And I'm just saying. So we had to have been on to something with the quarterbacks, bro. So I'm just saying.
In college, all he did after his freshman year, all Trevor Lawrence did was regress. I don't care what no one says. He regressed.
And why isn't Trevor Lawrence being thrown under the bus?
Because he's white.
I wonder why.
Because he's white.
Well, damn, Tyler. You said it.
All right.
No one's arguing that, though.
I regret the day I brought up Zach Wilson. All right, go, Dylan.
Wowzers.
Zach Wilson looks like the good old Cali surfer. You know what I mean? Got the mom and all that. So he kind of fits that. He kind of fits that narrative too. Dylan, go ahead.
He's got the mom too, so there it is. Yeah, so thanks for having me as usual. It's been a very spirited conversation and it's been wonderful. I'm not going to give a prediction, as I said, because I want people to have to labor through my preview video, Dolphins with Dylan, so go check that out. Also, too, if you want to know my feelings on this organizational approach over the past few years, be sure to check out some of my videos from 2019. But this guy thinks my channel's a house full of plugs over here, bro. Well, come on. I only do it every now and again. But anyway, so getting back to it.
You've done it 3 times on this episode alone.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, okay. I'm taking my chance. Anyway, but so after that though, look, well, I will say that I'm giving this team a chance this week. I did predict a win. It's in my prediction. It's hard fought. It's tough. It's a close game.
Billy got to me.
And I also said in my video that, I think it's likely what everybody else said. But anyway, we're going to give them this chance, man. Hopefully they can come out with it. It's hard to trust that offensive line and stuff, but let's give it our best shot, man, and hopefully the season doesn't turn out to be complete shit.
You don't.
I don't know. Hold on, Mike Joseph. You want Flo fired after 3 years and 10-6 last season? That's what happened when you're a black coach, bro. I am on record of saying is if you fire him, give me Brian Dabble or Eric Bieniemy. One of those two is black. One of those two is black, my friend. Okay, Jan, go ahead. Your final thoughts.
Thank you, guys. No, I'm pretty disappointed with what I've seen so far. I had high hopes coming into the season, bro. Tua an entire off season, to get healed, to work with his team, to develop chemistry with certain players. We were bringing in Jalen Waddle and. I've been hearing Reason and many people on this channel say that, we need to fix the offensive line. The run defense needs to get fixed. And we didn't do that this offseason, bro. We've put Band-Aids, man. We've brought in 7th rounders, a whole bunch of guys, to try to fix our O-line when we haven't really made a real high attempt to really fix this the right way. And Tua's not looking good. I agree with that. I love Tua. I love Coach Flo. But things are not looking well for us, for them too, or for Tua. Flores we're not getting as much criticism right now. It's all on Tua. It's all on Tua. It's all on Tua, and I don't like that. And I'm just pretty disappointed so far. I'm not hoping for anything on Sunday. I don't think the offensive line is going to do very well. We have a monster coming against one of the 2 sides, bro, the edges, which is Crosby. So If Epinesa did that, I can only imagine Crosby.
And you got Ngakoue on the other side.
And Ngakoue. So imagine that. So, yeah, I'm just pretty disappointed. Yeah, I had high hopes coming into the season. Since Tua got hurt, I'm not happy. So, I don't care anymore, bro. If we want Watson, I don't want him. I wanted to see Tua develop. I wanted to see us develop a good quarterback for once. And it just looks like we're going back to the old habits, bro, and buying large contracts. We did that with Ndamukong Suh. We brought in Mike Wallace. We just haven't been able to develop our own guys, and that's what really gets me pissed off because, I thought we were doing it with Tua, and it obviously seems like we don't.
Yeah, we developed Jarvis Landry, and we do him dirty the way we did.
Right. I just don't see, how we're invested in Tua when we knew we were bringing him in the entire time, bro. The entire time. That was the plan, and I just don't like the plan so far, how it's playing out. Because,
it's the execution. You don't like the execution.
Yeah, I mean, the plan is
the fact that they knew it, like you said. Like he's saying, the fact that we knew the offensive line was a problem coming in, and you knew you were tanking, so you knew we were getting to it, and then you still didn't do nothing about that offensive line.
We used to be on those Tuesday night panels back in 2019. Ballgame's in the chat right now. I used to say, I don't care if you draft Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. Give me an offensive line like what they have in Indianapolis. Give me an offensive line of what they have in Las Vegas and Oakland at the time. Because if whoever we draft doesn't work out, you can plop someone else behind that offensive line and keep the wheels in motion.
For a reason that makes too much sense, but that's logic. So the Dolphins aren't going to do that. Come on.
Why do you think? All I'm going to say is, why do you think the biggest cliche in football is games are won and lost in the trenches?
Yeah, because it's true.
Like literally.
Exactly. But now let's ignore it.
A good old line, a good defense. And a good running game. That's what these Super Bowl teams have that we don't.
Yeah, but again, the whole point is so Flo's supposed to be this defensive guru, but you don't know that it all starts in the trenches. That shows that you're neglecting other parts of your freaking team because you're focused on your defense, not your offense. Period.
I'm done with my part. Thank you for having me, letting me speak.
No problem, buddy. EM, I'm going to save you for last. Daryl, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, man, I'm still here.
Yeah, your thing's been like, you've been trying to talk earlier, and it's been like making weird noises. So go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I do apologize about that, but nevertheless, I hope everybody's having a good Friday. It's a pleasure to be able to hear all you guys once again. As far as where I'm at, I'm just at a loss in regards to the coaching staff. Brian Flores, the more I watch him, it's just a weirdo to me. A lot of times, there's this facade.
That's an interesting.
No. Let him talk. Let him talk because I love Daryl because he'll always say something like that, but then he articulates it so well after. So let him tell us why he's weird because he's actually so well spoken that I actually love listening to this guy. Okay, go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I feel that way, and I do appreciate that, but the reason why I feel that way is, based upon the experiences that I've had in my life. Obviously, I'm not a professional football player or athlete or anything like that, but, you'd be surprised, how some of the same people that you see in that line of work, a lot of their personalities and their mannerisms, they do translate to people in everyday life as well. They're human. But Brian Flores just strikes me as he's someone that he likes to put up the facade that he has everything under control, when in reality, the more that you watch him, it's almost like he doesn't really have a plan. He nor the other offensive coaches never really have a backup plan if things don't seem to go our way. And I think that's why a lot of the chaos that you see in terms of the progression of the offense or defense, that's why a lot of it seems to be treading in the wrong direction. But as far as everybody else, whether it's Tua, it's just amazing to me how this guy has only been playing 11 games and people are reacting to him as if he's been here for as long as Tannehill has been. So you can just tell who knows what it is that they're talking about and who doesn't. I got nothing but respect for everybody and their opinions, but at the end of the day, you got to call a spade at times. A lot of the stuff that's going on, everybody has a shoulder to blame, but sitting up here and blaming some of the players when there's clearly talent, but the front office or coaching, whether it's Brian Flores or whoever else has that type of wherewithal or that type of power to make the moves or suggestions, you got to put this on them, mostly on them in my opinion. But that's really all I got, man. I hope everybody has a good weekend.
Daryl.
That's what's up.
Logan, go ahead. Follow that up.
Well, our O-line sucks.
There you go. That's a good start.
Here's what I gotta say. Our O-line sucks. Jacoby Brissett's a chump. He sucks. Tua is injured. Our offensive coordinator sucks. Our O-line coach doesn't know that the grass is green. Our linebackers suck. Our defensive line can't get pressure, or they can get pressure, but they can't get a sack. And yeah, that's where I'm at, man. 45-0 Raiders.
Goddamn.
Wow. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop this foolishness, bro.
Yeah, this is gloom and doom over here. Damn.
Darth Logan. He's
guys,
making mine.
Guys,
I'm going Darth Logan on my own team.
Hold on. Where are we relocating? Where are we relocating to after this season 2, bro?
You gotta wait though. Hey, he's turning into Darth Logan, man.
Yeah,
he's turning into Darth Logan.
Him and Pyro, bro. What about you?
Look, it ain't your fault, man.
So,
listen,
I didn't say I want to lose.
My prediction.
I think he's joking. I don't think he actually thinks we lose 45-0.
Nah, Logan, do you really think that?
No, Logan,
not 45-0, but I do think we're gonna lose.
Just 40-0.
But I'm not as dark as Pyro, bro. Like I
love Darth Logan, but I ain't that dark.
Go ahead, Em.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say
I didn't get to go, but it's all right.
I know it's everybody.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Em, say the comment you were gonna say, then Chris will go, and then you'll give your final thought.
Yeah. I know everybody up here wants to be Debbie Downer, but my question to the panel: reason why there's a lack of optimism, is it due to Tua not playing and Jacoby Brissett's playing, or what?
No, I literally gave you a bunch of reasons on why I think this team's going to lose.
So if Tua was playing, you would have a bet. You would be more optimistic.
I would have the same reason. I think we would score a little bit more points with Tua, but I still think we're going to lose.
I would bump it up to 31.
I actually had us losing against this game even before Tua was injured. This is one of my losses. So.
Can I answer
but
that?
Now I don't. Even
I just want to clarify. I just wanted to clarify.
No, I know.
So,
can I answer that
I'm
also?
here. That's cool.
I'll go into my quick.
I told you this morning. Like, if Colin Kaepernick is on this team, man, I root for him. Like, I don't care. I just want us to win.
Yeah, and I'll go on my quick final thoughts, and I'll address him. Yeah, I think that I do have more confidence in this team with Tua than I do Jacoby. We did see a little bit. Reason did an awesome job breaking down even Jacoby when he was doing the offensive line. There are some things that I'm very largely concerned about. The interception, the floating up there. He threw our receivers into multiple hits. There were multiple times I saw a receiver almost get their head taken off. There are some things that, again, I am still hopeful. I am still a Dolphins fan. And I hope that Jacoby can get us a couple wins. Now that Reason, has inside scoop with Nick, we're at least dealing with 2 games where Jacoby is playing, starting for us. And I'm going to hope because I'm a Dolphins fan. But I'm not very hopeful based on the film that I saw this week. But I also think, again, like we said, a lot of that is on the offensive line as well. It's on the offensive coaches. It's as well as, to some extent, the defense and the linebacking core, not giving our offense as many opportunities because they're on the field quite a bit because they can't stop the run to save their life. But I very much think that it's a hard matchup for us with Las Vegas, as explosive as they are. They're playing as physical as they are. On defense, they're creating natural pass rush, which is killing us right now. And that's where I think it's going to be 35-16 Miami. I think that we are going to at least score, but it's not even close.
You mean 35-16?
Or Raiders, sorry.
So I actually, based on what I've seen, I actually preseason had us winning this game. But based on what I've seen the past 2 weeks, even with Tua, I don't think we would have beat them. The difference between them and us is they look like they're clicking on both sides of the football, and that win over the Ravens they had, man, that can do so much for confidence, and like
the Steelers too.
You know, it feels like we eked out the Patriots, and even though they eked out the Ravens, they went back and forth with Lamar Jackson. So I actually think even with two in there, Jacoby, whoever, I don't think our offensive line is going to be good against this pass rush.
Facts.
And I think there's only two weaknesses to exploit: their run defense a little bit, and and their lack of running game right now with Josh Jacobs out. But at the same time, I'm a Dolphin fan. I've seen this play out time and time before. Kenyon Drake, I'm actually expecting a revenge game against us because that's what always happens every time someone plays us. And I've seen, on the wheel routes and stuff like that, on the wheel routes and stuff right now, our linebackers are getting eat up on routes right now.
And that's where I was saying.
And that's how they're. Bro, look, and that, let me finish my thoughts here because then I got to go to EM and then we're out. And then, that's what's eating us up right now. We don't have good coverage from that second level with linebackers coming out right now. I just don't think right now. I think they look like a more well-oiled machine while we're still trying to, and even with Tua, we're still trying to find an identity on one side of the football.
Facts.
And I think a team that knows
That's
its
my
identities
biggest issue.
a team that knows its identities on both sides of the football usually will win because they know what they're doing to an extent more. But
that's what I wanted to add on real quick. I was just saying that's where I had us going 4-1, and I was really hopeful with Tua staying healthy and all of that. But that's where this is one of those games that I got to change to a loss because I just don't think with the offensive line. And yes, the Raiders, like you said, the Raiders are not great in running, but with our liability with our linebackers, I feel like their pass game, absolutely knowing that Baker is shit in pass coverage, I see us getting blown out, and that's
so
I got to take the loss.
I meant to ask you this earlier, reason, but I forgot. So have you heard any? I don't know if I'm putting you on blast or what, but have you heard anything like privately what the potential shakeup could be, what the offensive line could look like on Sunday?
Eichenberg's going to left guard.
In place of Kinley.
And Kinley's going to the bench. That's all I've heard.
Yeah.
Dolphins won't even put in their best player, Jason Sanders, kick a field goal. That's why I had us at 0 as well. So.
But it's still questionable. The five best.
All right, EM. Let's get your final thoughts, dude.
Oh, man, listen to all of y'all, man. Y'all got me sad now, bro. Damn.
Man.
Did you watch the two games?
I mean, damn.
Right.
I don't know where to start.
Back to normal,
Embrace
anyway,
back to normal as a Dolphins fan.
Salute to the panel as always. Shout out to everybody in the comments, the idiots as well. All for always consistently showing up and supporting the reason. Y'all know the level of quality that this man puts out on a nightly basis to represent the Miami Dolphins. But as far as Sunday is concerned, true enough, Oakland is playing well. Derek Carr is playing probably the best football of his career, I think. He looks like not totally different because quietly Derek Carr has been a good player for a long time. I think.
Well, remember he had that MVP quality season before he got hurt, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, and me included, we never did really respect his game enough because when you look at his career, I mean, he's been consistently good for a long time. But I just think now he's just taking a step further. And he's going to be a problem. He's definitely going to be a problem Sunday. But their strengths, in terms of their vertical passing game, they like to throw the football all over the field. That seems to be their approach, what they prefer. But that plays right into our strengths as well in terms of their receivers match up with our secondaries. However, my biggest concern is if they throw at us a curveball, kind of like what Buffalo did. Buffalo was generally known as a pass-happy team as well. What's the first thing that they do when they got on offense? They ran the football, and they were successful at it. So they got the Dolphins. They have to show up their run defense to be competitive in this game. But I think offensively. Again, hopefully, one thing I'll be looking for is the philosophical change up front. Okay, like I said before, whether it's Tua, whether it's Watson, whether it's anybody, I think the best approach with the way this offensive line is presently constructed is to be a heavy run-based team. They've proven when they've given opportunities, they can be consistent in running the football. I don't understand what's going on with Flores and his coaching staff, why there's a disconnect there, because if I see it, if we see it, they have to see that as well. So with that being said, I think in terms of, everybody being, the lack of optimism with this team, I think we need to pump the brakes just a little bit. First off, we're 1-1. Okay. A, B, this is normal, and it's unfortunate because I wanted us to get off to a faster start this year, but this is typical Brian Flores. His teams generally start out slow, but then they pick up steam mid-season and they finish fast. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt in that regard. So I'm gonna pump the brake just a little bit. There's a lot to be concerned about this O-line, but you got to consider rookie O-line. There's still a lot of youth. I'm sorry, a rookie offensive line coach, but there's still a ton of youth up front. So let's just wait. Okay, let's just not say and just cancel the season. Let's just let it play out, and hopefully they get some continuity up front, and they figure out what their identity is sooner rather than later. So I'm picking the Dolphins 24-17. I think Myles Gaskins is going to have a big day. I think overall, our running backs are going to have a very good day because, again, I'm anticipating a philosophical change up front.
That's their weakness. They allow like 4.6 or 4.8 yards per carry.
Now. So I'm anticipating a philosophical change, and I think they were all three of the running backs, Brown, Gaskins, and Ahmed. They will be incorporated, and I think Jacoby Brissett will do just enough to get us over the hump. So 24-17 is what I think is what's going to be Sunday. Fins up all day, every day.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Given what happened against Buffalo and given that Tua isn't even going to be playing this game, the Dolphins score more than 3 fucking points should be considered a victory. God bless.
Love it.
All right, guys. So the game's at 4:05 Eastern next on Sunday. I will be live around 3:30, and we'll go from there. So until Sunday game time, when we get to see Jacoby Brissett, and we get to see what this defense is going to do against Derek Carr. I mean, hey, our secondary is going to be challenged, and we're going to see a little bit of what this offensive line is made of. So, we're going to get some answers. So, all right, guys. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Fins up all day, every day.